Alright, boys and girls. Well, boys. Alex is out with sick children. Um, Last we left off, you guys made a lot of headway around town, meeting new folks. You discovered that Wesh Lalick, the apprentice at Wetfoot's Carpentry, had planned the murder of Gilly Wetfoot when it seemed as though what set him off was that he had made an enormous blunder, caused some damage to some work that she was doing for the Lasher gang, and was berated publicly for it. And suddenly, old angers, old hates boiled up, and he began to remember that he was once the apprentice to her father and was promised the business, or at least according to him, he was promised the business. And when he wasn't given it, he kind of held his tongue for all these years. But he is an oaf, and it doesn't seem likely that Daniel Wetfoot, who is Gilly's father, would have left it to someone like him, especially with Gilly being so skilled. But through Gibbs, who you learned, Gibbs being the bursar of the Lasher gang, who you learned carries a flame for Gilly Wetfoot. Through her, or through him, I should say, you circumvented any possibility of Wesh Lalick killing Gilly. Gibbs paid him a visit and made it very, very clear were anything to happen to her, whether he was involved or not, Wesh would suffer the consequences. So much as what you guys overheard. The one part you guys overheard was so much as a stubbed toe, and he would feel the pain. You guys finally made your visit to Fusty Lugs, where you met Saphira, who is Sabina's mother. And, of course, you had always thought, well, Sabina had told you that her mother had died. And through Saphira, you learned that, yeah, the relationship between the two is very poor. Sabina is not happy that her mother is a prostitute. And basically has cut her mother off and just prefers to live on the streets. However, Saphira has asked for your aid. She learned about what you did with the Hydra. She learned what you guys did for the lizard folk, the Drathrish. And, of course, stories of your heroism is spreading through Quag Cove fairly quickly. And so she asked for your help in more than one thing. First, she told you that the original owner of Fusty Lugs was her friend, Ednis Fusty Lug, a dwarven madam who she was close with. But when Ednis suddenly sold her lot in Fusty Lugs to Hetty Roma and just decided to vanish back to civilization, Saphira didn't buy it. She's like, something's wrong here. Ednis would just not up and leave all of her friends and her fortune and this place that she built. And so she asked you to look into Hetty Roma, but she warned you that Hetty gets regular visits from people in the Lasher gang. She's concerned that there may be connections there. In particular, Gree, the half-orc, who was on the little bit more disturbing side, covered in foul tattoos, profane symbols, and fetishes, and piercings all over his body. And he had that one large, crusty eyeball that really unnerved all of you. And Jibin Bahari, who's kind of a lowly, Piss Ant, those two would visit Hetty quite often. However, the unusual part to that is they never visited the girls. They would come in, speak to Hetty for sometimes hours, and then leave. And Saphira, her dream, and according to what she says, Edna's Fuzzy Lugs promise was that eventually Fuzzy Lugs, once they've made enough money, would be turned into a home for the Skelpies, the children, the streets of Quag Cove. In particular, Saphira had hoped to mend her relationship with Sabina through this. But with Hetty taking over, all of that was ruined. And the second thing she asked you about was Cyrena Mosin. Cyrena Mosin was the girl that Trajan the Black had paid Hetty to have exclusive rights to. Trajan being the Dragonborn. And of course Trajan is a brutal, savage individual, and treats Cyrena with a very rough hand.
Is he one of the pirates, or is he just...
He's with the Blackmore Trading Concern, or Blightmore Trading Concern. There are some who say that he's actually the right hand of Soren Corallo, the head of the Blightmore Trading Concern. So any dealings you have with Trajan could impact any kind of relationship you may end up having with Soren Corallo, which Trajan, Trajan. Towards the end of the last session, you guys visited the Brand. And I'll get to what Malhavoc did in a moment. But you guys visited the Brand and did some, made some bets. Some of you guys made some gold. Some of you guys lost some gold. Some of you guys hopped into the pits, did some fighting, and others, some of the party members actually sparred one another in the pits. But by the end of the night, the crowds were pleased with the fights, although the ranger battle was booed as they just stood, 20 feet from one another firing arrows at each other. But in any case, Pyramus Nor had invited you guys, all of you guys, to dinner the following night. I believe Gordaz was knocked unconscious during the battle with Nadja of the Muckspout. She proved to be a quite capable fighter, and you also learned that there's something more to her than you might think. You learned that she is chaste. In a pirate den, there is a chaste woman. However, she does seem to have the strength to make sure that is ensured, as she made quick work of two rather capable combatants. And she's like a 6'5" half orc. She's still looking for that one right man who could tame her, is what the rumor is. However, Malhavoc snuck back to Fusty Lugs, learning that Cyrena is in distress over Trajan's deal he has with Hetty. You snuck in through a back window up from the swamp. Found a room that was empty. Snuck back to the top of the stairs, and as you were walking down the stairs, you attempted to deceive all of the patrons by yelling, "Thanks, Cyrena, it was good," as you zip up your pants. Or something to that effect. Unfortunately, your deception roll is a 9. But, rumors have a way of spreading. So we'll see what comes of that. We'll see what comes of it.
The whole deception didn't be part of it.
I couldn't, in my notes, who was it that we were talking to about the poison drink?
Gibbon, you believe Gibbon poisoned you.
Yeah, Gibbon was the poison. Got it. I need to get
Gibbs is the half orc.
Yeah,
The one that's in love with
Beauty.
He's the bosun.
So we took the poison bottle to starts with an L.
Leberworts.
That's it. So hopefully she can find a antidote, and then I'm gonna go back and visit and get him.
So that's where we were last time. And so we're at the point where it's the end of the night. It's late. Are you guys gonna head back to Odiog's bathwater, get her, and retire for the evening, or do you have anything else in mind? You know one of the things we didn't talk about was your long conversation with Gibbs. Through Gibbs, you learned how Lash Ragnar came to Quag Cove, nearly dead, having been tortured by the hags. He also warned you not to discuss the coven or even hags around company that you don't trust. He's fully aware that the hags likely have numbers of agents in town keeping an eye on things. But he also knows that Lash has no love for the coven at all. But whatever the case, his encounter with the hags has set his life on a new path. Gibbs didn't know Lash before this, before he stumbled into town, but he's certainly a changed man from who he was before. Now he spends his nights drinking heavily to the point where he passes out, and days plotting, raids and plunder. However, Gibbs did say one thing very alarming. Of all the things that matter to Lash, nothing to him is more important than Shifty, Shay, his girl. However, Gibbs has learned that Shifty has been unfaithful, been sleeping around with Soren Karala. And this situation he handled very, very gently. So he offered a number of ideas, but nothing that could be acted on at any time soon. One was just to make her disappear and try to pin it on the hags. Another would be to corner her and convince her that life with Lash is better than no life at all. Whatever the case, he is not prepared to make any kind of move against her, or to set any of his men loose on her. Who definitely seems like Shifty uses her position with Lash to kind of manipulate others, especially in the gang, and the rest of the gang doesn't like her for that. They're very irritated by her, but she is Lash's girlfriend, so they have to soak it up. He also mentioned to you that Lash earned his nickname from Gibbs. The name Lash just comes from the fact that when he came into town, there's so many of those claw marks and open wounds on him, he looked like he'd almost been lashed to death, so they just began calling him Lash. Something that he embraced. Of course, he's just covered in these scars. His face, his back, his chest, everywhere is just covered in these long scars from slash marks. Whoops. Hang on 1 second.
So, and we stopped just before going to that dinner with Pyramus?
No, the dinner was the next night.
Okay.
So right now it's just late at night. You guys had just gotten done shouting something at Fusky Lugs about Serena and fighting in the pits. So it's past midnight.
We were supposed to meet the kids for something tonight.
He gave him the clockwork dog.
Yeah, but that wasn't why we were going to meet them. We told them that we'd meet them at night.
Oh.
So would he have something to tell us?
Was it at night, or when were we supposed to, quote unquote, pick up the news from
That was the next morning, dawn.
How much silver?
Yeah, and you paid the kids to market things, right?
To mark
Yeah,
the ones
5
down
copper.
on the
I remember them saying we were
skids.
they meet us at nighttime.
because they
for
figured
something.
that's he's gonna steal.
Right.
He's
Number
gonna
one.
steal them.
Because 5 copper is more than 4 silver.
Leave it.
Yeah, he's not too swift. Wesh Lalek isn't. So it's up to you guys what you want to do at this point. You guys had cornered Jibbin for a time and kind of let him off easy.
I got another plan for him.
There's more to come with that.
So you guys gonna
I'm
try
not
to?
done with him.
You guys want to go to the muck spot or you want to go back to bed? I know a few of you took some pretty good wounds in the fights in the.
Hey, we gotta
Somebody
get up and
needs
get
to
some
drive my
canoes.
unconscious body back down.
Are you down?
I think I'm a dead Ian.
Yeah, I think someone gave you one healing potion.
Did we leave you in the pits?
No, they would have
Somebody
fished you out
cast a
of
spell
there.
on me,
Just
but
laying down.
pretty bruised right now,
He's
so.
stuck in the mud.
How,
I remember
how
you
bad
needed
are
like
you?
7 or 9 or something.
How
I'm
bad
pretty
off?
bad, but I mean, if we're gonna go and spend the night.
Yeah.
There's some bruises.
Definitely should be.
I say I gotta cure wounds if you want.
I'd be like brand new in the morning.
You guys want to go back to Odiug's then?
I guess.
Turn in for the night.
Well, I will if you guys want to do something else.
My plan is gonna take
No, we
another
don't
day.
have curfew here.
Given
Nobody remembers why we're supposed to meet the kids.
See, yeah, that's still.
Or
Yeah,
go
I'll
ask
throw
them.
those over there. I got a bunch of stuff precariously bound.
Just go ask the kids
That's
why
all right.
we were
I didn't
supposed
tell
to
you
be
that.
there. Did remember.
Yeah, I know there's.
well, we can head back and peer underneath the yell form underneath the
Bring it up
pier.
on the.
See if they
Bring
show
it
up.
up on YouTube. Once more.
We were supposed to meet them south of the fish market or something, right? We were supposed to meet them south of the fish market, but I can't. I think so. I feel
Yeah.
like it was because they had information for us or something, but they didn't want to discuss it at night or until nighttime or.
Anyone just walk that way and see if they're there?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
It's kind of on the way, isn't it, from the brand?
No.
Sort of, not really.
Everything's on the way in this town.
It's a pretty small town.
You just wonder where you go.
All right, well, guess we'll hit the docks and see if the kids are down there.
Okay. So you head down there, but you don't see anybody.
What part of it?
Okay, it's dark. Of course, the fog at night always closes in much tighter, thicker, rises up from the swamp much deeper.
The deck? Or whatever dock?
Okay. Well, the dock's down there. There's no under docks too, because it's so close to the water. But if you look back towards the fish market and stuff, you don't see any of the kids.
Kind of hang out for 15, 20 minutes and then if they don't come, we leave.
All right. So you guys hang out for a while, but no one comes down to the docks.
Go turn in for the night.
Can't say we didn't try.
Okay, so heading back to the Odiug bathwater. As always, there's a large number of guards outside of the large barn across from Odiug's, a few positioned fairly close to the front doors. But you all are recognized as patrons of the bathwater. When you guys walk in, you are greeted by the staff, who, if you recall, Soren had paid to come to. They're like a professional staff that were brought in from civilization to staff the Odiug's bathwater. Petcha greets you, the old man, and he's in his night clothes, and he says, "Oh, gentlemen, I wasn't expecting you guys to come back tonight yet. It was getting late, but now that you're here, shall I start the kitchens and prepare you some dinner?"
Not very hungry myself.
Not for me, I'm ready for bed.
Yeah, not for me.
Very good. Perhaps just a nightcap then. Drink.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, he's got the Shire's wine.
I think the expensive class. Most expensive.
Okay, so Shire's wine is 1 gold pieces for 1 glass.
It's not
I
poison.
still got a bottle of Screaming Oak on me. I'm good.
He pours you each a glass. Says, "If there be nothing else, I'm going to retire. But if you need me," and he motions to a door on the floor level. He says, "That's my room. And hey, disturb me at any hour."
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's got his little candle, and he begins walking on over to his room. And
On his hand.
yes, he puts on his hat, goes to bed. So I know a number of you guys had separate rooms. Some of you guys have doubled up. Are you guys going to keep watch, or are you just gonna kind of rest for the night? The first time you guys rested, you guys
Yeah,
didn't
that
keep
there,
watch.
that's pretty bad.
Huh?
I don't think we need to keep watch here. I mean, probably
There are a number of guards.
as safe as it gets on that house.
I cast an alarm on my door and I go to bed.
Okay.
What about this one here?
Oh, we got to tie him up. Gag.
Is he in a room? Are you in a room by yourself?
Yeah. Oh, we just locked the door.
He's a wizard. You can get out if you want to.
Oh, look, that whole room and everything's on fire.
What do you want to do with your buddy here?
Should we post a guard on him?
Just tie him to his bed.
Look at that.
Huh? I would just tie him to the freaking bed.
You want to tie him down to his bed?
Gagging. The dirty sock.
Who's dirty sock?
Socks.
Like his own.
Gordaz's?
He was in the pit with the mud. Yeah.
So you're gonna use Gordaz's muddy sock that he hasn't changed and been trudging through the swamp with for weeks.
Talk about both of them
Like a second pair of boots.
Now you gonna fight us on this?
Yes, I will. I'll use the 3rd level magic missile this time.
How much was it for an 8 Pagodians?
What kind of room do you want? A nice one or
Just the
regular? Or is it 1 gold a night?
I was paying that by night because we were going into the swamp. I wasn't sure how long. But I was
1 gold a night.
My cat attack.
I'll pay for the
All right.
You guys don't know that it's like
That cat attack. It's not lasting
Meow.
long.
It deals 1 point of damage on
A claw attack.
claw attack plus 0, 1 slashing damage.
That has 2 hit points, Josh.
And it has plus 2 initiative.
Ooh.
plus 5. I put the arrow through his face.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
As a climb.
You could get rid of warts with him too.
You can?
Yeah, you just swing him over your head with its tail. That's an old Tom Sawyer thing.
My damage modifier is +4. I can kill 2 of your cats with 1 blow.
Without even really attacking.
Yeah. What you don't have to do.
As a 12 armor class.
Meow.
If someone throws it, I can deflect it. It won't miss me.
Now,
You can throw it back.
that's cool.
I don't worry about the wizard. I just, like I said, cast the alarm on my door and I go to bed.
Okay. Are you gonna tie down Hatmar?
I think we should just be safe.
says it's gonna be difficult to
You should
resist.
fight it. You're just delaying the
Yeah.
inevitable in a way. It's gonna
Josh,
happen.
are you gonna let them tie you down?
There's 5 of us.
They won't put Gordaz's sock in your mouth. How
As
about
long as
that?
you don't put the sock.
Alright.
I will thunder wave.
Once you're tied down,
It's
though.
for your own protection.
That might be a different story.
Small clothes.
This is for your own good, Hagmar. Ah! Okay, so you guys tie down Hagmar, and you gag him with a clean piece of cloth, I assume.
This cat.
Strap his cat to his face.
Okay. And everyone beds down for the night. Josh, roll me a d20.
That's not good.
Throughout the night, you guys can hear wails, crying, struggling coming from Hagmar's room.
Is this enough to wake me up?
Well, I mean, everyone wakes up periodically through the night as they sleep, but anytime you wake up, you hear him just carrying on and wailing. And
I'm gonna see what this
Maybe
does.
next time we tie him up and take him to Fusty Lugs, that way
I'm gonna see if this does
crying
anything.
is not.
I'm gonna go to his room and
cast silence.
well, I do have
I was
silence.
just hanging
Uh,
over the edge of one of the piers.
Protection
into
from
the
evil
water.
and good.
Okay.
Won't be able to hear him crying underwater.
So you want to cast protection from evil
Yes.
on him?
The power of Vanseath compels you.
All right, so you cast protection from evil on him, but it doesn't seem to do any good. In fact, the spell only seems to infuriate whatever forces are attacking him, and it becomes worse.
Thanks a lot.
Great. Alrighty.
So he begins to shriek at them.
Alrighty.
But he's tied down. With his 7 strength, I don't think there's much of a chance that he's going to free himself. But
Check the ropes and then go back to bed.
they seem to be holding.
I tried.
You gotta put him in a wet paper bag. He'll never fight his way out of that.
Okay.
I just would just put him in, top left room and we sleep down bottom.
Is there a coat closet somewhere?
Stuff do not disturb on honeymoon.
Well, but with aside from Hagmar's carrying on, your night passes uneventfully. Sadly, Josh, when you wake up, you're not rested. Whatever spells you had cast are not recovered.
That's why you shouldn't cast before bedtime.
Good job,
And if you had any damage, you didn't heal anything. You are fatigued. You have 1 level of exhaustion.
What's one level exhaustion? 5th edition.
You have a disadvantage on skill checks, basically.
It's
So mark down your level of exhaustion.
it's not as bad as 3.5.
Second one is there.
Yeah, it starts getting worse each
And
night.
you're like an
Till you
ex-wicked
get to numbers.
character.
Till you get to number 6.
Alright.
Then everything's
So-
nice and peaceful.
When you guys walk into
Everything's
Hagmar's
right,
room,
you should.
when you guys walk into Hagmar's room the next morning to free him, you all realize that he hasn't slept a wink. His wrists and his ankles, where you tied him down, are rubbed raw and bloodied from him struggling against the ropes. He has a look of terror on his face, and it looks like he's bit into his tongue as he's been shrieking, as he's got blood in his mouth.
Here we try to take care of you. We rack you up all nice and
Good grief.
We got the
We're
elk.
gonna need to go buy some silk rope or something, so it's better for you.
Maybe we just need to wrap him up. Swaddle
go
him.
full money.
Swaddle. Well,
Let's see if
Roll
we can
him up
find
in the
something
carpet.
for him at Liverworts.
so when you untie him, he begins to recount a tale of the hags visiting him last night. And when he opens his shirt, you see claw marks on his chest, very much like the scars on Lash's chest. Only his aren't quite as deep; they're more superficial.
Did you say ags?
Hags.
How many were there?
says there were 3.
Did they look what?
Huh? No one. Well, he never wears a shirt, and he does not have a mark. No.
Okay. Change my spells a little bit here.
These hags look like the one described to us earlier with delusion or something.
They look exactly like the one that had visited you guys in Holmford. In other words, a night hag.
Well, I guess these things are without a look about sleep anyway.
I got one other to try.
Right here.
What?
Protection from evil didn't work, but I gotta try magic circle next.
Okay. Did you share a room? Who was sharing rooms?
I'm sleeping by myself.
Okay. Who was sharing rooms?
I think everybody's pretty much by themselves.
Ground floor because I don't like heights.
That'd be a dwarf and all, right?
Are we heading back to see if we get our canoes?
Why do we really need them? It was more just a ploy to talk to the guy.
Oh, maybe we can get some cheap.
Let's look at
Yeah.
I mean, we have our own boat in the way.
Yeah, but we don't want to steal the fisherman's canoe if that's the only source of living. But we might want to call him on Steve.
Yeah, we want to make sure he didn't steal the canoes from.
Remember, 5 copper.
It was 500 copper.
Headmar was it like 3 heads?
Yeah.
the tree go.
A coven, as it were. So, but he tells you how they tortured him and made him watch as the hags tortured those that he cares about.
Were they all?
No.
Were they in their true form, or do they look like something else?
They look like night hags. So, Josh, you have a couple options in front of you. You can try to go back to bed and try to rest.
How long would that take?
8 hours.
Did we untie him yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as you were on
That's why
time.
that's why we're seeing all these wounds.
Are you hurt?
No.
But you had a little damage on you.
Now you do.
A good serving of cabbage back stew is going to make you feel like nothing happened.
That's right, Josh. You're going to think that Screaming Orc is your best friend pretty soon. So, what is your plan for today? Are you going to go see Wesh Lalek?
I say we need to go check the canoes. Make sure they weren't stolen,
No,
if nothing else.
Don't worry.
I
Since
need
I'm
to
an
go-
elf, does it require less time for me to get this built up?
Oh, you're right. 4 hours, yeah.
I need to go to
You
level
want us
lords.
to take 4 hours?
We'll pick you up around lunch.
Yeah. If you want to go sleep, you can go to sleep.
Yeah, I'll go to sleep.
Try to be seen as much as possible.
All right, so
Do I have to roll again?
yes, I'm afraid so.
I'm not using this die anymore.
Why?
That die rolled me the 1.
So that one rolled you a 2.
So I'm going to do it for some more.
That dice is twice as bad. Twice as good.
So you struggle to fall back to sleep, haunted by the dreams that, and really it's fall into your trance. Elves fall into trances. Your nightmares from the previous night, being visited by the night hags, have so disturbed you that you're unable to concentrate enough to fall into your trance. So the next 4 hours are basically wasted for you.
Just gonna come to a point where I'm gonna have to punch you in the back of the head.
You're gonna do the Sveta route to
Stunning, striking. No, not the.
you just choke him out.
Put their
Can I
face
cast
under.
this on you and walk away?
Yes.
There's a leg lock.
Yeah.
Seen as much as possible.
Can I cast it and just walk away?
Okay.
Can
What?
I cast magic circle on him and just walk away?
Yeah.
It's a
Is it a concentration
I'll
spell?
go left while you.
It is,
casting
but
time.
it's expensive. It's like 180 gold. That's
No. Doesn't say it's.
What's the duration?
1 hour.
Okay. Yeah, you can throw a magic circle down and walk away.
Alright. I'm gonna cast magic circle on him,
Okay.
or on his room, center on him,
Okay.
and walk away.
Okay. Right now, it's more that he's just so unnerved from his previous night's experience, more so than he is being, spiritually assaulted by that night hags. Although there are things like elixirs and lubberworts that might help us.
That's where, yeah. Well, we're gonna go check the docks and then go to Leavenworth, because I gotta go there anyway.
All right, so you're gonna go to the docks or Wetfoot's?
Let's say the docks to see if the canoes are there. Yeah,
Those would be up north, right?
Which ones did it say?
By Wetfoot, where
That's Wetfoot's
that's where
carpenter.
you're gonna meet.
Those are the repair docks. There.
We need to go to Wetfoot's to see if he's got our canoes and if they were stolen or not.
So you guys gonna head to Wetfoot's?
And then Leavenworth's.
All right.
It's right by there.
Yeah, we gotta go buy them.
Buy a level.
So you guys head back to Wetfoot's, and you see Wesh on the dock, and he looks real nervous. He's looking around. He's like, "You were supposed to be here right at dawn. Where have you been? You got my 500 copper?
You got our 4 canoes?
Yeah. Come over with me." And he leads you over, and he points down. He kind of leads you past all the debris from his wreckage, and it's kind of on the side of Wetfoot's carpentry near the water wheel. But he points down. And you see 4 old canoes down there. Obviously not new.
We'll go down and check them.
Yeah. You had them marked, so you might have them stolen.
Yeah.
You marked the ones that are on Skid Row, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, none of these have that mark, but they are old. You got my 500 copper.
Alright, don't know where they came from. They look like they'll hold together.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted new canoes. We'll give you 300 copper.
You didn't say anything about that. 500 copper.
Well, we did say you.
You said you wanted 4 canoes.
You said you'd work through the night to get them.
I did work through the night to get them.
Dry age them too or something?
What? I said get them. Yeah.
Did you steal them?
You would impugn my character?
Yes.
Well, your character's a little shady.
Well,
You don't have to work for you anyway.
I heard it once. Would
During that period, 150 coppers is a pretty fair offer for the amount of work you obviously put in that.
fine. 350 copper. Who pays them?
What is
Who
that,
took it
Rich?
from?
Huh?
Who did you take the canoes from?
I didn't take them from anybody.
I'll give you. I'll pitch in 150.
I'll give it 27 or
20 silver. You said 350 copper.
Yo, change, Sam. I paid them. You're gonna look like a rich man with your silver in town.
I feel like I'm getting robbed here. He kind of waddles off.
Alright. So now we got canoes. We just leave them tied here.
Is there any
Huh?
What is he, a human?
Yeah, he's a human.
Is there any other mark on the canoe? Like
Oh, they just look like they've been used quite a bit. There's fishing gear in some of them.
Is Serena around? Has she showed up yet?
Serena or Sabina?
Sabina.
You haven't seen Sabina. It's early morning though.
they don't sleep late or something?
Alright. Do we just, you guys just want to leave them here and then we just come across Sabina, have her move them for us?
Sure.
Or you guys want to move them ourselves now?
Well, I guess if
yeah,
we
so
leave them
somebody
here,
sees
it's
us,
gonna...
and then we're gonna be the ones in charge. Let's see.
Where are we gonna move?
Yeah,
to?
it's, we
Yeah,
can
the
take
island.
them skids.
If we leave them there, he's probably gonna steal them and sell them to
I
somebody
kind of want
else.
to take him and then stop off at Other
The
Gordon's
island.
Island just to see what he's up to, and then we can drop him there.
Well, we could park them by the Archeos in case we need to make it with the other one. Have some things to
Or we
escape.
drop 3 of them off here and then take one. You know, over here.
Or we could take them all over there and drop them off on the way back.
Well, I mean, if we take all 4 and drop them off at the dock, then they're potentially losing all 4. But if we take all of them over to the Other Gordon's Island and leave 3 at his island, and take 1 back to the docks, then we lose a chance of not losing 1. And 3 will be docked at his island the entire time.
If there's one canoe big enough to carry all 7 of us?
No.
I'll actually, I mean, you guys should have enough people to take 4 canoes, and I'll run the other boards.
Okay, you're gonna go to Leverworts.
I need to go to Leavenworth too.
Gonna go park one of the canoes by the Archeos.
But there's
Okay.
4 of them.
And Josh doesn't do
One
it,
person
with
for
us because he can swim like a freaking fish.
That was swim speed.
Alright.
Yep.
Of what?
You and I are going to go to Leavenworth.
Okay.
What's my swim speed?
I thought it was a 40, wasn't it?
This morning,
Yeah.
we need to do 6.
Oh yeah, thank you. Roll a d20.
Got the knowledge.
No, yeah, roll a d20. 19. So you are saving against sight rot. Roll a saving throw.
I'll say
Yep.
20.
You are fine. What'd you roll the first one? 8. That is sewer plague. Roll again. 9. So you are feverish.
Don't cast anything, I think I have a potion.
17.
All right, roll your save. Disadvantage? No, not a disadvantage yet. Just regular. All right. So Hagmar looks like he has pink eye right now.
I hate these dice, Dad.
Well, go get yours.
Yeah, the cockroach will be in, sewer play.
Byron, roll your d20.
1,
That is sewer plague. Roll your save.
22, 23.
All right.
4.
That's sewer plague. You are feverish. And snog.
7.
That's sewer plague. Roll again.
Which one is it? Constitution?
Yep. You're probably good at this though.
10.
10. You are feverish. So who failed?
Me.
Antis? Hagmar? Mitch, did you fail?
Oh, we talked
I'll have
23
so
on my
4.
side.
Hagmar failed on a bigger one though. He failed on sight rot, which is worse than sewer plague.
Your eyes are gonna fall out.
So the caution only removes
like
1 level of exhaustion. It doesn't cure the disease.
Somebody blindfold them with my dirty socks?
And if we're going to Leverworth, we're just going to have him.
Make some potions, bring it back.
Well, if you recall, they told you it's going to take a few days for them to restock now that the Hydra's dead. So they're not quite ready to
But they
create
might-
stuff
they
for
might
you.
have a handful of stuff. Not much.
What is it, 3 sewer plates and
3 sewer plagues and a sight rot. And I think eye bright is what you need for
Yeah.
the sight rot.
Does she have any?
Is there... Somebody had the sheet that we wrote down how many she had of each.
I thought you
We
had
had
a
the
sheet.
list of
I handed it out,
We had
yes.
the sheet.
all I've got on here is 1 left of hemlock.
No, that says either one of those sheets are.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, I got
wrote down what
I got an eye bright salve.
Alright.
Who has eye bright?
Me.
And the
I'll
sight
hook up
rot.
with you later.
Somehow while he was tied up, he got pink eye.
It was from Gordaz's sock.
How did you
I
get
guess they rubbed their
How'd you
butts on
get
his face.
How did you get that sock clean in your eye? It was in your mouth. What the?
Pretty much.
Ways.
So are you five gonna handle the canoes while?
He's back in trance.
Oh,
Well, actually, he's tossing and turning.
okay.
Well, we don't know that.
So are you four gonna take care of the canoes while we go to Leavenworth?
Yeah. I'd bring one right up
So
here.
we need, well, we can pick up stuff for everyone.
Yeah.
So do we want to take the other two canoes to Brother Thorn's Island? Keep them there?
All right. So are you guys gonna drop the other canoes off at Brother Burns Island? He's typically not up this early, so if you dropped him off, he'd be in his hut asleep.
Well, I wouldn't wake him up. If he was up, I'd just check. So,
Okay. So you want to drop some off there?
well, so otherwise, I think that's probably the best route to go, especially if they're potentially stolen.
All right. Well, you guys drop a few of the canoes off at Brother Gwern's, take another one across to Skid Row. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of their canoes seem to be there. A few of the individuals on Skid Row are up and moving around. They kind of tip their hat to you, and
They're early risers.
yeah, you can see that Othris through the fog, the morning mist. He's already up, and he seems to be working out in front of his cabin on something, though it's difficult to see at that distance. And you can smell already the fish market already cooking their stews and preparing their foods.
First Cadillac stew in the morning.
That's the muck
No
spot.
crab cake for you.
No detail.
So Melina is Melina's and Tamas Red Ill, the fisherman's wharf there. They're up cooking and preparing all of their foods that they always do. The forges are going at the dwarven place, and there's a kind of an odd odor coming from Driggle Draggle.
Of
So
course.
it's not really unusual.
Formaldehyde smell.
So does Lovina have anything in stock right now?
Let me see the list. I handed mine out to somebody. Someone else has it right now.
Not me. I only wrote down what I have.
Mandrake root. A mandrake elixir.
What's
But-
that for?
That is a failed save renders a victim unconscious for 1d4 hours.
What's one D?
Huh?
Is that narcotic?
It's not.
That's black lotus.
It's a poison. But it's not. It's not addictive, Josh.
Is that what we're gonna need for him to? I let her know I need
Well-
something for him because he can't sleep.
Well, mandrake can put someone out.
So
how
can
long?
I.
1d4 hours per dose.
But will it take care of his exhaustion?
How many doses?
He may wake up groggy, but he'll at least sleep.
How many doses do you have?
Right now she has one dose for 15 gold.
I'll cough it up.
But in less than a week, once her daughter Kezia gets back, she should have plenty now that the Hydra's been dealt with.
We also need.
She estimates Kezia should be back within a day or two.
Do you have anything for sewer plague?
I think Acacia, you guys brought back a bunch of Acacia. Well, sewer plague is something that we all fight from time to time. It's the exhaustion that really gets you. As long as you control the exhaustion, you'll be fine. At the end of the day, the way sewer plague works is at the start of the next day, you make your save again. If you make it and you are at 0 exhaustion, your body has purged it. So as long as you control the level of exhaustion and eventually make your save, you'll be okay.
So we'll get what we can of that for him.
Didn't you guys bring her a bunch?
Yeah.
7 doses. But we're going to burn through 3.
And then,
What's she want for those?
did you find?
Well, you guys brought the herbs to her and she made them, prepared them for you.
Okay.
Did you find out what the poison was in that screaming orc?
Oh, yes, yes. Let me have that sheet again. She says, yeah, this is a kind of a unusual plant. It's bryony. It's not found quite a bit in the swamp, though it is out there.
And do you have an antidote for it?
Oh, I'm afraid not.
Is there an antidote for
It's
it?
a potent poison, though those stout enough can fight it off.
You still have the bottle with the screaming orc in it?
Oh, yeah, here you go.
It's still a poison in there?
Yeah.
Alright. Can I borrow a small bottle? With
She kind of sifts around in her stuff, and there you go.
some swamp water?
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay, thank you.
So apparently someone gave Spike that bottle of Screaming Orc with a healthy dose of bryony.
Alright.
So we'll take
Based on the amount of damage you took, you think at least 2 doses were added to that bottle.
a very competent herbalist to hunt that down and use it.
Well, it takes someone to prepare it properly, yes. Myself, I don't typically make poisons, though I can. I haven't been asked to.
Do you know anybody else around here that messes or dabbles in herbs around here?
Herbology?
Yes.
I don't know. I would imagine that if you take a look at the Blightmore Trading Concern, they probably have somebody that can do something, or even maybe even the Lasher Gang may have somebody. I don't know.
Alright. I got what I need.
Gentlemen, thank you again for all you've done.
I'm sure we'll be back to purchase more.
Yes, and if you need further assistance, please don't hesitate to let us know.
Huh?
Have your head up.
No, she's right now. She is treating it so that it preserves.
And if we venture out into the swamp, we'll try to collect more stuff for you.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. That certainly would be a load off Kezia's mind.
Or just volunteers. So try to
Sorry, my wife's doing her taxes and she's asking me for PayPal receipts for the business.
Alright. I need to go to see. Is it Grimley? With the Grumley.
Grumley?
Yeah. He's got a suit of armor.
I'll go down to this game.
Well, it's not Gromley. Isn't it Houtrod? Gromley is the gruff dwarf. He's the weaponsmith.
Yes. And
Hout Grim is the armor smith. And
there it is.
And when you guys come out, you're kind of surprised to see Gromley at work the next day, because he did take a beating at the hands of Nadja in the pit after the unfortunate critical fail that he had where he stumbled in the mud and then took a couple of crits. One could argue that it's not his fault, that it's not a fair representation of his skill, but you can be rest assured that this rivalry is not over. But Hout Grim is up early as always, and he says, "So can we discuss a fair exchange for this armor that you brought back?" His initial offer was 2,000 gold, but then he offered you some amount of gold and a suit of his own make.
Did we cast a search for magic items on this? Was it a magic item?
It wasn't.
It's not magic plate, no. Otherwise, the leather strapping would have held over the years. It's just very finely made.
It's not any additional plus to the armor.
No.
What was the offer?
Well, he's willing to offer you a suit of his own plate plus 900 gold.
It's a good deal because base armor was pretty expensive in the Minecraft we got.
Which is actually, I think, more than the 2,000 gold piece value that he offered you before.
Right.
Even the regular price break plus 900 is more than
Yeah.
2,000. Is the other armor like lighter or something? Or regular?
No, it's just there. To him, it means a lot because he believes, at least what he told you, is that he believes that these particular dwarves to be his kin, based on the craftsmanship, the markings on the armor. So he's willing to pay extra for it. He's already purchased the axe for you guys.
Alright. Okay, I think you got a deal, brother dwarf.
Oh, he's ecstatic. This is fantastic news. And he starts fitting you right away with the armor that he built. It only needs a few minor adjustments. He'd been up all night working to have it ready for you. He says, "You don't know what this means to me. We came to this place many years ago when, sadly, our Lord passed, and there was a challenge for his throne. Sadly, we backed our Lord's son, who was the rightful heir, but he lost in his bid, and a great purge took place, casting us on the road. This armor, though I can't prove it, but I believe it to be in the line of those dwarves that we once served. It is kingly, and you have no idea how much it means to me that you've agreed to this." So he gives you 90 platinum pieces, and quickly fits you for the armor. So you have plate armor now. Now, think about what that's going to mean in a swamp, but you have it. He says, "Keep it well oiled, keep it clean, and it'll last you forever."
Okay. Thank you very much. Do we need to pick up anything for anybody else here?
You pick a 5, right? You think of any?
Yeah, he's got it.
No, I've got the salve already.
Okay.
I have one extra.
So is anyone else doing anything else around town this morning? What is your plan for the day?
Should we go out and see that witch? Yeah.
How far out was that?
Old Meg's hut?
Old man's
Yeah.
hut.
Let's see.
How many hours does it take?
Yeah.
Yeah, how many hours has it been?
Maybe one.
You're still tossing and turning.
You want to go out without Hagmar?
I think we should wait for him because we don't know how many
Right.
things they're out there.
I think we need to see Sabina before we leave the village anyway.
The hut is about 15 miles to the southeast. So you're looking at a good 4 hours to get there.
So, southeast is also where the stone giants are.
But they were
Giants
much
are
further to the
northeast.
southeast.
Northeast.
Wait for Hagmar and go out on a 4-mile hike. That's going to put us there about dark.
Right. I don't think we want to end up there in the dark.
Yeah, let's not.
Spend the night there.
Who has the bomb?
No, Mitch is the one. He doesn't have the one.
We still haven't talked to both of us.
Who?
If we go
It's
to
like
that,
a hunter.
we'll mix up. Is it by foot or can we boat there?
Well, that area, you can canoe there part of the way. That there's gonna be lots and lots of places where you have to carry the canoes. So it works out to be, kind of a wash on time. The only advantage is there will be parts of it you're gonna be able to keep drier if you take canoes, even though the time is about the same because you're gonna have to port your canoes. You're gonna be able to keep drier.
With stuff in Josh's body, can we just go in and he's gonna wake up on the way there?
Well, if you guys go visit him, you'll learn that he's not sleeping anyway. He's unable to fall
I
asleep.
got some stuff for you. Here, read this.
Here's some salve for your eye.
Smear this in your eyes, boy.
We just rolled him down, smeared his eye.
The sad only works if you drink the potion.
What is it?
Yeah.
Sleep on the tongue.
The poison.
It's an activity.
True poison never shows this.
So if we leave now, we get there around noon.
Are you going exhausted or not?
I guess I have to.
Why? You don't have any spells.
Well, he has whatever spells he had already the previous
I
day.
have the only spells I only use is a first level spell.
When he magic missiled you guys for trying to force him to eat cabbage back stew.
Alright, let's get going. Are you on the sail chair?
Are you gonna take your canoes that
He's
you
not always around town.
Yeah, we might as well.
Because this is capture money there.
So on your way down to Skid Row, where
Where's
you
this
park,
elixir?
you see Thomas Radiel. He kind of waves at you guys and he says, "Hey, seem to have misplaced a few of my canoes. If you happen to find them or spot them, could you let me know right away?"
Is he?
He's the fisherman's guy, wharf
Figure
guy.
it out with the fishing gear in there.
Who may know where you're
famous?
Thomas Radiel. Yeah, and his wife is, I believe, Marlena.
What was that?
Is that 16?
Yeah.
So where'd you say you got these canoes?
Melina, Rathill, Nugget. What was his name?
Thomas.
Thomas.
Tamas. Melina, yeah.
Whoever you
He says they seem to vanish from the docks overnight. It's not a huge deal because they're just canoes that I loan out to folks on Skid Row who want to make a few extra coin by fishing for me. But would like to get them back at some point.
How many would you assume about?
Oh, they're 4 missing.
What's the cost of
A canoe? I think they're like 10 gold. New.
I'll give him 10 gold. Go.
I'll give them another 30. They'll be like, here. And there's 40 gold. They'll be like, here, go.
Well, let's
Get some new ones.
split 50-50 then.
Sure.
Oh, you don't have to do that. I mean, you're not exactly responsible.
No, we know where your canoes are at.
Oh, you do?
Yes. And they were stolen, but not by us. And we'll deal with him later.
All right. So Thomas is relieved and surprised at the same time. You see a number of the kids around Melina's cook pots. You see Sabina, the twins. No, you don't see the dog. And you see Patron. And they're over there, getting some free food for Melina.
Is Othris around?
You don't see Othris. He was down working at his cabin the last time you saw him.
So the one canoe we have on in the area is down in the Skid Row, right?
What, you want to go talk to him?
I do.
And we'll get
First time we see him, so
some crab cakes from him. I'll buy some crab cakes.
Okay.
Things about the swamp.
How much was that?
Oh crap. Back at the
Three crab cakes for 5 silver.
back at the
I'll give her 5 gold.
What? I don't have that many crab cakes,
Well, I
sir.
only take 6 crab cakes, but it's to cover what the kids eat.
Oh, well, you don't have to do that.
This town's got a third of inflation.
Was Marhilda around at Ragabrash's?
Yeah.
Gold for one crab.
Did she have my teddy bears done?
Oh no, I haven't made teddy bears in quite some time. Give me some time.
Okay.
5 platinum for one crab.
Then you're gonna have
Well,
to.
you want teddy bears
It's the
for.
tax.
Then you're gonna have to.
It's the
have
tax.
it back.
It's the crab tax. It's the bread tax.
Okay.
Tabby tax.
Air tax.
The cake tax.
So you guys head down to the island. Othris is out front. He seems to be butchering a gator. As you guys approach through the mist, he looks over at you guys. He is a human. He's a very dark-skinned, bald human. Looks like he shaves not only his head but his face. Very muscular but short. Probably tops. He's 5'7", 5'8" tops, but he's solid as a brick.
Hail Others.
He says, "So the heroes of Quag Cove have arrived. I see."
A ragtag bunch of heroes.
Does it seem to say that in like a sarcastic?
A little bit, yeah.
We're heading out into the swamp again. Would you happen to know anything about the area we're heading to? And we're heading south, or southeast?
Yeah.
Southeast.
So, just to describe Othris, he is human, dark-skinned. He has a long sword at his waist and a battle axe strapped to his back. He doesn't carry any kind well, he travels light. I mean, he's got studded leather on. He's got a longbow leaning next to his cabin. And underneath the battle axe, it appears that 2 short swords are also strapped down. He looks like he's lived a hard life. He's very scarred, and but everything you've been told about Othris is that he protects the people down here on Skid Row, and they call him the Hunter for a reason. He clears the area of Odiugs that wander too close to the island, and most recently they've had a lot of problem with ghouls and ghasts that he's been slaying. He says, "So, what is it you want from me?"
Do you know anything more of this area that we're going to? Southeast of here.
What area is that?
We're going about 15, 20 miles out southeast of here.
Why do you want to go there?
We're just following some leads.
Leads for what?
For some information. Herbs.
Herbs?
Yes.
Herbs. You're going 15 miles. It's a very specific place. What kind of herbs are you looking for 15 miles southeast of here?
No, that's our business. We were just...
Well, you want information. You need to be a little bit more forthcoming.
Just give us the information.
More persuasions.
We're just trying to help the
Looking for
people.
Blackthorn and Ditton.
Precisely 15 miles to the southeast of here.
Starts around there.
Oh, I see. I've traveled these swamps my entire life, and very rarely have I heard such a very precise agricultural measure as Dittany and Blackthorn, 15 miles southeast of Quag Cove.
The Fisher grows 3 hours out to the west.
Oh, that's good. It also grows 15 minutes to the south, 30 miles to the west.
We were told it was a particularly nice spot to find oil.
So if someone wants to
Better
try to
quality.
roll a deception roll.
I do that because 18.
This is fine. So, you're going to go search around Old Meg's hut for Dittany and Blackthorn, are you?
Well, if she lives in that area, I guess that's the case.
Oh, I guess so.
Who's she anyway?
Oh, so, well, she's an old witch. She and her sister live there. Vedoma?
Young Yadoma?
No, Vedoma. Just Vedoma, and she's not young. Neither of them are.
What do they do in the middle of the swamp like that?
I guess maybe you should ask them. That's their business.
You figure that the life expectancy of two old ladies in the swamp like that would be pretty short-lived.
That's what you would think. But, you know,
Have you ever
most
been-
relationships are built on trust. You seem to have been working very hard to earn people's trust in Quag Cove. But you come down here and you spin me tales of Dittany and Blackthorn, and then begin asking me about the witches to the southeast. You know, it's all very insulting.
We're not sure who to trust around.
Exactly. You know, offer them a crab cake? Yeah. Keep your food.
Okay, so what do you know of the sisters, if that's where we're headed?
Why are you going to go talk to them? Maybe you should start being honest.
They may have some information we need.
About what?
Oh,
I think it's probably going to be one of the more trustworthy people in town. I mean, he helped Skid Row and Skid Row's helping us.
We're looking for, or the source of the blight for this area. The cause of it.
Cause it. Well, they'll be able to tell you that. They will.
We were just quiet about it because we were told to be quiet about it.
It's
There's
wise.
People
It's wise.
affiliated with the cause of the black in town that we might not want them
Perhaps-
to hear about that.
Perhaps next time, though. Perhaps next time, if you want information, you think of a better lie. Tell, not be so suspicious.
That was
Well,
a pretty
we're
good
actually going to be looking for herbs in that direction. Why do we travel there?
I
So
know
it's kinda
that,
half
but
true.
one. Yeah, half true. If we get information, we'll share with you.
well, they have information. I've met the sisters a number of times. They're not the most pleasant of duos, but as of right now, I can say that they're fairly harmless.
Is there anything we could bring them as some sort of gift to ourselves and good favors?
Meg is the voice, but Vedoma's the one you must win over. Win over Vedoma, and you will find what you seek.
Is there anything we should be watch out for in that area besides the sisters? Creature-wise.
A black dragon has been seen patrolling the skies over the swamp.
Black dragon.
Further southeast you go, the more frequent it seems to turn up. Watch the skies.
Is it a young, old?
Might that dragon have been bronze in his earlier days?
No.
So there is also a dead dragon?
Can you tell if it's a young dragon or ancient?
It's difficult to tell through the mist. You guys can make a wisdom check.
20.
You recall the lizard folk telling you of a great serpent that aids the hags, that serves the hags, that
Yeah, we-
spits acid. And
We have heard of the bronze one that was bounced down, but we have not heard of the black one. Really. Or we assume they meant the bronze one.
I know of a beast that guards the hag's lair. And he says this in kind of hushed tones. It is a colossal creature, though I can't say if it's a bronze dragon. The sisters may be able to tell you more.
Ah! Did I just break it?
Got it. Alright.
It works.
We'll be on our way.
So, what can we bring to the sisters in Doma specifically to gain their trust? Or
I wish I could tell you.
we can.
No, he's honest. I wish I could tell you this.
We can view them roughly as allies, or not being hostile.
You can view them as not hostile.
Okay.
Are you guys ready to set out, or do you have something else for Hagmar? Or for Hagmar? For, Othris here.
I'm gonna ask about Little Flea and the circumstances he found her.
Yeah, I found her wandering the swamp. I was probably the furthest out I'd ever been, southeast. When I found her, she wasn't speaking, but she was inconsolable, shrieking, crying, and I recently found a teddy bear, this threadbare teddy bear that I found floating in the swamp, and I had taken it thinking that somebody, one of the kids surely would want it, and the only thing that could calm her was that bear.
See, teddy bears. Eh?
Have you ever heard her speak?
Never.
You know, when we like to detect thoughts, that her thoughts are really scattered. I did try to go deeper, but she was safe. I think she rolled like an 18 or something.
Probably. Nope. It's Orf. Carmina Burana.
Yeah, a lot of people rip this off though. Let's pull out the swamp tiles that are right underneath this. Should be able to tug it right on out there. Hopefully.
Let's all go to the swamp.
All right. Dun, 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 dun. Are you guys going to bring the canoes, or are you going to set out on foot?
I prefer to stay drier if we can.
Probably a smart move.
Especially for a guy in late.
Yeah. A short guy in full plate.
My chainmail isn't gonna do any better though.
Correct. Oh, that was my back. Not good.
Let me get something out real quick.
If I may.
No, we'll fight it.
It's an ancient black dragon. Roll initiative.
So, you guys believe that it is going to be about a 4-hour walk.
Where will we when we got
One of the Facebook sites had 5 dragons perched up and the party down in the middle. This is going to be a bloodbath.
The DM goes rogue new character.
Roll 46. Roll 46. Roll 46. Do it again. Do it again. There's your character.
Your daughter feeling better today now?
Yeah, she.
Oh.
She's getting there.
Must have been Bob at the same time.
Yeah.
Donut.
She was nervous about it anyway. But she goes through that every time. She's got Charlotte's Web is at the end of the month.
All right.
So you guys set out across the swamp. It's early morning. Well, not too early. I guess it's a little bit later morning.
Fishing gear for this guy is
Josh,
Yep.
your rolls have been on fire today. So
No,
give me a
you
d20.
can't-
Go
No,
for a tree.
no, not Josh.
15.
say, I'm pretty sure I was waiting for it to roll negative. -3. What? How did you do that?
Well, you guys set out, and the fog is particularly dense today.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dead.
You can't see much more than 30 feet in front of you before things become fairly obscured. There's tall reeds and lots of hangman's moss hanging down from what trees there are.
Snag a reed and put it in my mouth.
Okay. I think we're talking like cattails, like big thick reeds. Okay. Just like a giant cigar.
Yes.
I need a survival check from somebody.
Oh, dude.
One person.
I got a
I
plus
have
3.
+2.
Good job.
Snog leading the way. I know the way.
We're back in Gray Coven.
Step off the boat and fall down the flames.
I got a 4.
So Snog says, "Follow me," and he takes the lead canoe. After about 4 hours of rowing, you realize, I thought we were supposed to port our canoes at some point. Like, are we going in the right direction? One other person can make a survival check.
Push it in the water. They're on the land.
And you realize, at the very least, you're not going southeast.
The scenic keeps following us.
I have +2.
Hold on, someone already rolled.
Are we able to tell what direction we're going?
Well, it looks like you're going due south, not southeast.
Alright. Maybe the ranger.
What's your survival, Ranger? +2.
Sad I got a plus 3. I rolled a 1.
16. Is that the total? All right. So the Ranger, after 4 hours of canoeing, has realized the error, and turns you all due east. You think that it's going to be another few hours until you reach your destination. So late afternoon before you even reach your destination. So Josh,
Yeah.
another roll. Well done. Everyone can make perception tests. Josh, you're at disadvantage.
Yes. Natural 20.
5. No. 8.
23.
Okay.
15.
4.
Choose your mouth.
Snog, your senses don't fail you this time. You feel as though something is stalking you through the swamp. Though you can't pinpoint it, nor can you actually see it. Every once in a while you just catch a shadow, a silhouette in the fog. You know, a slight broken twig, a gasp of breath, a very silent growl.
Guys,
Huh?
I think something's stalking us.
You do not see any of the mud spirits.
Keep your
You had been seeing mud spirits, yes.
keep your wits about you.
Werewolves have been following us for a while.
With the 22.
Keep your wits about you, gentlemen.
Know that
Yeah.
I wish I had something to keep
do
about
we
me.
know if it's following us on land or mostly in water?
Fishing equipment in here. My
Looks like it's on land.
Someone paddled 500 cop.
I bet it's these werewolves.
But whatever it is, it does not close with you.
We turn around and go see what's in there.
Can I tell which direction they're?
We're on the island, I think.
I mean, it just seems to be at your perimeter, and it never seems like more than one.
But I mean, is it like bouncing from side to side?
No.
Is it around us, behind us, or is it to one
So,
side?
I mean, for a while there, maybe it was on your left, then it vanished for a while, then it came back on your right. Was that? There are some trees, yeah. Again, and there's like thick sheets of the moss hanging. So, like through the fog, it kind of looks like bodies swaying from limbs. It's what's called hangman's moss.
Say, as soon as we pass a tree, I'm gonna jump up in one,
Okay.
stealthily,
All right, make your stealth check.
and have everybody else take the canoes about another 50 feet out and just stop and pull.
Okay.
Is 27.
27?
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty stealthy.
So as we're going by, I just grab one and swing out and
Okay.
disappear in the tree.
Okay. So you vanish into the tree and make a perception test.
Ranger out.
21.
Okay. So as you are up in the tree, the party has stopped about, did you say 50 feet ahead of you? So they're just beyond your visual sight. You can kind of make out their silhouette in the mist. From your vantage point, you can see a single silhouetted figure just kind of stalking, pacing the rest of the group.
Humanoid.
Looks humanoid, yeah.
Can't tell what it is. Because
No.
of the mist, or
Because of the mist, yeah.
And I fire an arrow, not at it, but away from the party. So like, party's here, it's over here. Like, fire an arrow somewhere over here,
Okay,
just to see if it hears it or whatever, and kind of goes off after it.
okay. So make an attack roll. Just don't totally destroy your roll.
18.
It doesn't seem to react to it. What do you want to do? The rest of the party's sitting there. Some of you guys probably hear an arrow shot in the distance. Some of you don't.
I need my axe.
Because all the voices in the party are whispered.
Climb down and propel it. And I try to sneak up on it.
You're gonna try to sneak up on it, okay? Make your stealth check.
What's it? 24.
Alright. So you begin to stealth up on it. Creaking ever so slowly.
Up until I can actually see what it is.
Okay, so within 30 feet of it. Alright, so you close within 30 feet of it. Its back is to you. It's a hulking beast covered in black fur. You can clearly make out a werewolf.
Is it just the one?
He sees just one werewolf.
Do I know if they hunt in packs?
typically, I mean, werewolf, it's not, well, roll an, I guess it'd be a nature check.
18?
It would not be unheard of for them to travel in packs.
Didn't we kill all but one in that last group?
Did we find them?
I don't know, missed it.
I think we found them.
You guys evaded them last time.
Oh,
We fought the great snake stuff.
Yeah.
it was wrong game.
We never actually had even seen them. We just had heard them across the water
Right.
after the Idol fight.
That's Wednesday night.
The werewolf begins to move.
For the water, for the
Neither. Ahead of you guys. So it kind of starts to disappear into the mist.
So I'll go with it and I guess, is it moving, it's going front, so I'll go with it until about perpendicular with the boat. And then
Okay.
move towards the boat.
Alright, make your stealth.
And
Alright, so it kind of vanishes off into the mist and you rejoin the party.
there's a werewolf there. I saw one.
That's a problem.
It's in front of us.
should take care of
Did
it.
it know we were here? Obviously, it didn't know you were there, but did it know we were here?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Should
I
take
think
care
that's
of it.
what's been stalking us.
Especially if it's alone. It's no time to do that.
You said it passed us. Do you know how far it went?
It just disappeared off into the mist.
So probably a good 30 feet at least in front of us. Somewhere.
Let's all rush the bank and jump out.
Just attack. Ah!
The problem is, if it disappeared into the bank, we don't know if it's 30 feet, 60 feet, or 300 feet.
We'll find out.
That could have been the tail end of the pack.
Full Wednesday.
Yeah, but if it's alone, it's a good time to take it down.
Yeah.
So that the back is the one shoulder. Before we back.
Still, the boat's going to start angling towards the water. Walking slowly.
How far have we made it?
Guesstimate.
Well, we got lost, so I'm not entirely sure.
Are we anywhere close to our destination?
A few hours away.
Or how far still?
A few hours.
Yeah, just got a wrong turn a bit against the side.
Somebody should stop me from running. We're out in the woods. It's not my fault. If we were underground, I would have rolled. We would know where we were going.
Alright. So you guys move on, knowing that there's a werewolf somewhere out there stalking you.
On the bow of the canoe, staring at.
He's doing the George Washington pose on the bow of the canoe.
Yeah.
If you guys are cold, we can get the heaters running. There's a heater right there we can plug in. Right there on the couch.
T-shirts.
Usually if we put it under the table, it just heats up this whole area under the table.
Ed,
Huh?
let's have it.
No, you don't.
Whirl.
No, you don't. See? Okay.
I had 3 ones, Dad. That's closer than you ever got.
Eventually, as you guys move forward, you come to the banks of a fetid floodplain. The water in this area is only a foot to 2 feet deep. But at the edge you find, at the edge of the floodplain,
you find a stone hut that is set up on a mud and stone mound that takes it up out of the funk of the swamp. A stone fire pit smolders outside, while felled trees provide a place to sit around the fire. A small black kettle, resting on a stone next to the fire, boils with an obnoxious-smelling stew. And so what you see here, we're going to use this as kind of the roof of the hut.
Is the old Meg hut, or are we too far away from that?
Now this would be the old Meg hut.
Okay.
You guys are porting your stuff now. One thing I have to ask, who's got the plate armor on?
Me.
So are you wearing it now?
Yes.
Alright, give me a constitution save from heat.
21.
Okay. So it's hot. It's really hot. Bugs are irritating you, but you're not overheated. Eventually, waddling out, you see, and you guys can make a Arcana check.
Do I have disadvantage to this step?
Yep.
15 for me.
8.
What was the highest?
15, 14.
I have disadvantage. When Joe had disadvantage to attack with level 1 or 20. It was Joe. He had disadvantage to attack.
No.
Do you remember that, Dad?
Somebody, who was it? Was it 3-1?
Oh, yeah. Who was that?
Yeah, that was Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had disadvantage to attack. He rolled like a 1 and a 20.
Thought I had this out, but I don't. Find it real quick.
I think that's slightly worse. I think it definitely works as well.
There we
Was that your campaign, Dad?
Huh?
Was that your campaign where Joe rolled a 1 and a 20 at disadvantage to attack?
I don't remember. But waddling out, I think someone had a 15 on their check.
Yeah.
To check their stew is a green hag. And
Orpheus kind of
through the mists, she doesn't
What's on
seem
that
to
point?
notice you. She squats down next to her stew and begins to stir it.
Definitely identify it as a hag, not just some little old lady.
Definitely a green hag.
I'll point out the party.
The rest of the party, you guys, the mist obscures your vision somewhat, but Gordaz is like, that's a green hag, guys. We fought one of those in Holford.
We don't know these hags. They may not be part of that same coven.
But she doesn't seem to notice you guys from that distance.
Maybe they don't like the other ones encroaching on their.
Maybe one would make just enough noise. She runs away.
You guys gonna make some noise so that you alert her to your presence? There's a little fire pit going.
Well, we need to move forward, so obviously she's going to hear us moving forward.
You especially.
Yeah.
So you guys what are you gonna do? There she is.
Try to move as stealthily as we can.
Well, I guess if they were
Maybe those of you who actually can't move stealthily might want to find a good position to get into, while the rest of us who have, armor and disadvantage in moving. Wait.
Yeah.
+2 to stealth.
You want to get it in?
You have disadvantage though, Josh.
Sling an arrow for you.
So I guess I'm gonna split off.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go straight up.
You're gonna go that way.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like at her back, and then I'll stop. And
Hey, make your stealth check.
kind of go after.
Split off the other direction.
That's a 20 plus 8.
Okay. She doesn't seem to notice you, so he goes off up there. Gets off behind.
Yeah, whatever. And I just ready an arrow just in case. But
Okay. Anyone else?
I might go this way.
Split about 2.
Okay, make your stealth check.
23. Nope. Yeah, 23.
Like,
He's going this way.
This way with the third thing.
Yeah, somewhere.
All right. So when Gordaz begins
a
to
bush or a
move,
tree.
when Gordaz begins to
That's
move,
enough.
she
I've got my
looks
bow.
up from her fire,
I've got my bow out.
looks around. Who's there?
He reads a phone.
She stands up, picks up her stew, runs inside her hut.
that's the only door.
Yes.
Still around.
So she grabs her stew and runs inside her hut.
Any windows?
Huh?
Any windows that I've seen?
You don't see any windows. There is like from your distance, you can't really see. It's too much mist.
Okay.
You gotta get closer.
I'll start walking up to the hut.
I'll walk with him.
So Snog begins to just walk up to the front.
I'll walk with him.
We're looking for Meg and Vanoma. We heard this is their hut.
you right?
Yep.
You going through all
No Vanoma here.
Is there a Meg?
She pokes her head out the door. Who sent you?
Nobody sent us. We're seeking information.
She slowly comes out. She's just right inside of the doorway of her hut. So Gordaz is a little closer. Or Snog is a little closer, I'm sorry. Snog. What kind of information are you seeking?
We're seeking the cause of the blight.
What blight? It's a beautiful day.
Well, maybe for you, but I swear it's not as nice. And we're told you might have some information. What do you do? Doing a capture?
It's hiding.
Suddenly you can see just past. You can see just past Beg. You see a wild-haired old woman. Her skin is an ashy gray, very much unlike the green hag. Her eyes appear to be cataract over, and she just kind of vacantly stares around. And she says in a raspy voice, "A burning hunger comes. Hungry." And Meg kind of looks startled. At that point,
Our buddy appears.
Might be the werewolves.
At that point, roll initiative.
yes.
Oh, that's not a werewolf.
That's not fun.
Oh, that is a werewolf. They should be working
my.
together.
All right, roll initiative.
Why did this?
It's not an ability check.
It is.
It is?
It's a head check.
Okay, so yeah, you do.
I'll just have
So Bards can have jack of all trades.
It's half and half.
Bowden, what you get?
Just push this way a little farther. So the magic sweet
Gorgas?
spot's right here.
Mantis? Hagmar?
12.
Mitch?
14.
Al Havoc? Snog?
9,
What's your plus?
1.
What's your plus? Excuse me. Trolls have 11. And as this one comes out, biggest of the trolls, he says, "We have no truck with you. We just want the hags." Mal Havoc. Of course, you only can see 30 feet before it becomes obscured, but you see, how far away is it? So you can hear the rest of the party reacting to something, and you hear a booming voice shout out that they come for the hags, but you can't see them yet. They're too far out.
30 feet towards the hut, stealthily.
Can I make a stealth check? Now, you can move, if you move at full speed, it's at disadvantage. Otherwise, you can move 15 feet and not have disadvantage. Oh, well then just re-roll 1 die. Is it from your boots? Okay, so the boots would give you, is for sound, and the cloak is for sight. You're out of sight from them, so you're just rolling for sound. So you would just roll at disadvantage if you want to move full speed.
Move full speed, and then I'll keep my roll. There's a 20, unnatural.
Okay.
It was 12.
Okay.
And then I'll just keep an arrow knock.
Okay. Gordads. You can see silhouettes. You're less than 60 feet from them. You can see looming silhouettes of very large creatures.
That's the job, that one there.
Okay.
17 good.
You hit.
6 piercing damage.
Okay. Mitch? No, Bowden. Bowden, sorry.
You went after him. Swing my
Okay.
So that is 22.
You hit.
Second attack is 23.
How much damage total?
17.
7. You have to speak up. My ears are.
Oh, sorry, 17.
17. Okay. Hagmar.
Can I roll, see what those things are?
Yeah, that'll be a nature check at disadvantage.
Nature. +4.
6.
Those are big, ugly things, and you're overtired. You can't think of what they are. What, troglodytes?
One on the left, to the slot.
No, that's a troglodyte.
Don't you assume those 2 things in the fighting pit though?
The one that you saw in the fighting pit was different than these, but they're the same.
So I'm gonna move it 30.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Run.
Runs behind Gordaz.
And I'm gonna fireball.
Where are you gonna put a fireball?
So if I put it here, then that is. I put it somewhere around here, I think it would. I think, yeah, if I put it somewhere around here.
You'll hit Bowden there. Now, if you
Can I
step
try-
it back,
I can shape it
here.
around Bowden.
Oh, that's right. You're an evoker, aren't you? Yeah, you can hit all three. All right, so you're gonna drop a fireball. What's my DC for shade?
Move
15.
to a line instead.
The natural 20
Wait,
for
you
the
can,
moss.
you can turn to a line.
You're an evoker, you should be able to do that.
Oh, they all three made their saves.
Is it 8?
8d6, Josh.
Maybe borrow a couple. Or 1.
Wait a minute, just use that metal one.
Oh.
What'd you get?
26.
26, a 13. Okay. Monster's turn. Have it your way. We just wanted the hags, but now we'll eat you too. Alright. So, this one comes at Mitch.
Hey, I didn't do anything
Looks like
You don't
he's
even know
legit.
again. Where does he go on?
Huh?
Where does he go on?
This guy.
What does he go on?
What do you mean?
Number.
Did I skip you?
We must have.
Oh, I must have skipped you. Go ahead.
Alright.
Sorry. He does not.
I'll let him approach and then we'll beat the crap out of him.
Okay. So you ready to?
Looks like
beat
he's
the
reaching
crap.
down to goose you.
He's checking. Cough. Let's see. Basically.
All right, Mitch Bean.
First attack will probably not do anything with a 9. Second attack is a 17.
There's the fight. 17 hits.
Flurries are 26 and an 18.
18 hits.
It's 23 total points, and I'll need a couple saves off of him. And a dex save.
Okay. 19.
Actually, I need 2 of those.
14.
That one he goes from.
Okay.
And I will actually move towards the little.
How far? You gonna go in the water?
I'm gonna have to.
So what's your movement?
40.
You get
That's
there.
basically what's what I did. The leg.
All right. Now it's the troll's turn. So he gets back up in a roaring fury, and he comes after Mitch Bean. All right, here we go. First, he tries to bite you with a 1. 2 claw attacks. With a 1. God damn. And a 3. He's totally discombobulated from the trip,
You should have stayed down, sir.
apparently.
Nice to show respect.
Do you wish to surrender?
Bowden. Bite. Natural 20.
Does it hurt?
For 8 points of damage.
On something.
That's pretty bad.
There was no fire.
Now claw attacks. Miss. Fine, there we go. 24. 11 points of damage.
Yeah.
One of the things they did away with in 5th edition for the trolls, the Ren. No more Ren for the trolls, sadly. That was one of the things that made them so deadly. Antis. Bite. Hit. For 10. Claw. It's an 18.
Yeah, just.
Oh, max damage. 16.
I think those, are you using your weighted dice? Or?
Yeah, I'm using my weighted dice. Last claw is a 19. Another max damage.
Another 16?
Another 16. That's what you get, Josh.
Oh, man.
I think
Probably
I'll
pretty dim.
Yeah. I used to yeah, just barely.
Yeah, see if they just roll the dice anymore. You know, the big thing in 3-5. You always see people trying to sneak them in. Just the people I always been looking at.
It's 3-5 or so overpowered and having such a
Josh
power
is coming after you after that fireball.
you didn't need. Oh, I rolled a 2.
Bite.
That's a 73.
Hit.
Oh, you know what was it?
26.
That barely hit.
Bite.
This one here,
16.
That barely hit.
Bite or claw. 20.
That hit. Ooh.
Yeah.
Alright, Josh.
That's why he's still on the
This plus 12.
got a 49
28.
I'm at 1.
So he runs in there and he just grabs onto Hagmar and just shreds him with his claws and lays into him with a bite.
rips his head off and drinks.
See in my sight now?
10, 20. He's a silhouette there. You can hear the shrieking of Hagmar. It sounds much like he did last night during his dreams.
So you're just thinking, what's Hagmar doing sleeping at a time like this?
Makes sense.
Smoke this charm yelling.
Okay. So now we are up to Hoosh, dog.
Alright, where am I at?
Is that you?
Okay.
And then the hammer and
That's
sword.
Okay, that's me.
About 1.
So did Antis.
I want to move up to that first one. Can I get to 25? Can I get to that one? Yeah. Can I get to that one?
Yeah, you can get to that one.
Alright. Alright, want to cast Spirit Guardians.
Spirit Guardians. What's the radius of that?
15 feet. So I think we're the only ones really within that.
You'll get 2 of them.
2 of them,
How many potions can
alright.
And is the save on their turn?
Yeah, in the beginning of the
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Leave that out. I am together.
3d8 on mine.
Unless you
And then I'll
human centipede, the baubles do that.
use War Priest
That's right.
and smack the wolf.
And lick your toes.
It's a troll. You can see it now that it's close. It's a big troll.
So 15.
15 hits.
Alright. 6 plus 11.
Okay. Antis.
Is Channel Divinity an action or bonus action?
Action. Well, it depends. I think some of the things can be used. It depends on your... What are you trying to do?
I was going to do Preserve Life, which restores 5 times my level for HP.
Up to maximum half.
I didn't write it down.
I think that's right. I think it restores up to a maximum of half.
Okay.
But I think that one is an action, isn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one's an action. But can't you get multiple people with it?
Yeah, divided the creatures by choice. So I guess if it's up to half, I'll split it 13-12 with Agni.
Alright. So he invokes Palor, his god. Come to me, Palor, in this dark place. Banish these foul beasts. Preserve our life. Hey Josh, you go ahead and grab the heater. We'll get her going. Put her underneath the table there.
And then
Just put it on the corner there. Just aim it towards the table, and it'll start filling the other side of the table with heat. Just unplug the light. It'll be fine.
And then as a bonus action, I'll use Healing Word on Hagmar.
Okay.
For 10 points of healing.
Okay. 10 points of healing.
Should be at 24.
Uh-oh. Something fall out? One of the buttons fell out. Look underneath his bag. Right there.
Yep.
You want to bring it over here? Come on.
Yeah.
Alright. You have it on max?
Yeah. You turned it up to 7.
Is it on high?
Yeah.
Let me see it. I was worried about the button coming out of it. Yeah. Alright, just put it underneath. The dog will like it too.
Put it underneath him, right?
There we go. Okay. So who was that?
That's Antis.
Antis threw out a bunch of healing. How much more healing did you give on Hagmar?
10 more.
10 more to Hagmar. Meg
He's almost
shrieks
full.
at the sight of the at the sight of the trolls. She says, "Back in the house, sister!" And Vidoma slowly backs her way back into the house, and Meg casts a spell and vanishes. Malhavoc.
I go 5 feet forward. Can I see that thing?
This way. 10, 20, 30. 5 more feet you can.
Right, 5 more.
There, you can see it clearly now.
Okay. Let me shoot him. 22
Hit.
and 27.
Hit.
So the first one, 13 damage. Second one, 10 more.
Okay. Gordaz.
Alright, I'm gonna rage.
Rah!
I'm gonna smack this one with my sword.
Okay.
24 hit.
You hit.
7 slashing and 2 fire.
Okay.
So yeah, 17. Maybe 9 slashing and 2 fire.
Okay. Next up, after Gordaz, is Bowden.
Okay, I am going to cast Divine Smite actually.
Divine Smite is part of your attack.
So I roll my attack first.
You,
There are smite spells you can cast before.
One is a 19 and the other is 24.
yep.
Second one, Divine Smite.
30 total. Okay. Mitch.
I'll ask him, like, do you still want to pursue this line?
Snarls at you.
I guess I would say yes.
Byron's picking out all of the dice he can find there.
All the loaded ones. I'm like, yeah, not using those.
Some of those are funky though. Yeah. Like that one's a funky, isn't it?
1, 2, 3.
This one's all sixes, so it's staying. Yeah, I'll flurry again. That's weird. So, 2 10s,
Missed.
2 24s.
2 hits.
2 17s and 2 3s.
So that's 14 points of damage. He'll need a dex save. Can't take reactions until the next turn.
19 on his next one.
So he doesn't fall down. And I will move towards Bowden.
10, 20,
25. There.
One more behind him.
Back into the water.
Sorry,
Mark.
Should I cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on that thing, or...
I don't know. Why you don't ask me? Tell yourself.
I'm asking myself.
Oh.
Asking you. Don't say it like...
Is that a weird side thing?
What do you do?
Yeah. No one on that side.
I think I'll cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Okay.
So wisdom saving throw, I believe.
On the one right in front of you?
I was young.
Yeah.
19.
Dad, I think you're cheating.
What does this say to you?
Down on it.
1. That says 1.
Well, there's a 1 in
There
there.
is a 1.
You just saw it.
Bone electronic dice that they had.
All right.
Always wish I
what else
could
do you
pick
wanna
up
do?
one of those
Can I
and
do?
have it as a novelty.
Were you trying to get away from it? You could have tried to score. Shocky grasp.
John
Get
Cena
away.
John Cena came up with some of those.
Yeah.
But this had better chances.
That would have been an 8.
Yeah, except I rolled really good. That's
John
true.
Cena has
You're right.
got
My
some
chances of
jukebox.
making that save are minimal.
Dragon? The electronic dragon bone?
Well, I don't know if there is, but
That's what it was called, a dragon bone. It looked like a bone.
You can flee and
Yeah,
just
it was
take an
elec-
attack of
It was
opportunity.
electronic. You pushed the button and it randomly generated.
this roll like a 6-sided die.
It might be better than taking a full
Oh,
round of
that's
attacks.
that's a new one. You get built on Kickstarter. But yeah, this one looked like, remember the,
All right, so
was
you're
it
gonna
Simon?
accept
That
the
red
attack of opportunity.
handheld
So he
thing with
swings
the
a
fucking
claw at
tic-tac
you.
toe in it. It looked
And
like that.
misses with a
except
9.
it bone. It had, all the different had 20.
All right,
6, 8,
monster's turn.
percentile. If you just picked which one you wanted with a little flip switch, hit it and it rolled. It random,
All right.
random through the numbers and gave
So
you
first, I'm going to attack
Some
Bowden.
folk around up there.
late 70s.
The
early
troll.
80s.
Enraged at
Still
your
see him in the old
flurry of
Dragon
attacks, roars directly in your face as he tries to snap at you with its putrid fangs. Ooh, a 24. He buries his fangs into you for 10 points of damage. And then he tries to claw at you twice. With a 10 and a natural 20.
That was gonna hurt.
Yes.
Oh,
19 points of damage. The claw finds its mark, buries deeply into you, knocks you prone. Bowden seems to be unconscious.
Roll, Shaggy.
Um, 10, 20, 30. Sorry, that damn monk movement. I guess he's gonna have to dash.
He's having. Oh no, he's those other two need to roll Constitution saves.
Oh yeah.
Do I look like
Sorry about that.
I would have eaten them if I had them.
Con save fail. Con save. What's my target?
That's big flavor.
I got a 16 on the second one.
You can't have more than that at level 5.
Huh?
You can't have more than that at level
I'm sorry,
5.
it's a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, wisdom.
Yes.
So I failed on both.
Yeah.
So 13.
13 damage each.
No, damage. 14.
How about you?
14 each.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. I'm attacking you. See if I can knock that spell down. Natural 20.
Just enough.
12 points of damage and a concentration. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution? 9.
A 9? All right, so your spell falls. But it got off a round of damage. Now the 2 claw attacks. An 18 is my highest.
Flake that flake.
Flake. It's going up already.
Ding!
Scratch marks on it.
Gordaz, make an attack of opportunity against a troll. Oh,
That one's gonna hurt.
I know, because you also get your vicious damage. You can add the fire damage together.
No.
Oh,
I had Slim Jims.
24.
24.
I didn't have Slim Jims.
All right. So you bury your sword deeply into the creature as it tries to charge after Hagmar. And when you pull that sword out, its guts just spill out all over the ground in front of you and it falls.
You're welcome.
All right. Snog.
Who's down?
Bowden is.
How far am I from him? 5 feet. Can I move over without provoking?
You're staying in the trolls, right?
They're tasty.
Nah, I don't want to move yet. Alright. I'll just attack. 18 plus.
Oh, you hit.
Okay. 4, 9.
Okay.
And then I'll do another War Priest. 12 probably doesn't hit, does it? You know what? I'll use my guided strike. That's plus 10, so that's 22.
All right.
7.
Okay. All right. Up next is Antis.
I'm assuming the necklace beads, those are actions, but they don't consume spell slots.
Right.
So I'll do the blessing bead on Snog, Gordaz, and Mitch.
Snog, Gordaz, and Mitch are all blessed.
And then, as a bonus action, I'll do second level healing words or Bowden.
Yes.
11.
Does that give him any hit points?
11.
11 hit points.
Gives him 11, not you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get 4 of your attack.
You get to add a D4 to all your attack rolls.
Yes.
And saving throws.
Yeah, use that extra one. Less concentration check.
No kidding.
So, move Meg behind Hagmar. She appears back there. And she begins to shout at the lead troll. They didn't take me then, and they won't take me now. And she casts vicious mockery on him.
Who's this other elf in front of me?
But it made it safe. Malhavoc?
I can go up full 30, right?
Yeah.
They're still waiting on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The water squares are double movement, but
Is that 2 water
Yeah.
squares?
Let's see something, right?
oh yeah, you can see this one, I think. Yep, he's just at the edge.
Shoot him.
Should be pretty beat up.
Natural 20.
Ow.
He's taking damage.
Yes.
Next would be good.
Well, you double all your damage dice.
48 damage.
Damage. 4 losses.
One more.
16 damage.
That's all? Wow, you didn't roll very good, did you?
No. Still up.
Yeah, he's still up.
15 to hit.
Hit?
Losses. So 10 more damage.
Alright. Alright.
Can you use your hunters now?
The what?
So not a beast master. Can't do beast marks.
Oh. Beast bastard.
All those movies are on YouTube. All 3 of them.
Okay. So up next, I think is Gordaz. Hey Josh, her ball is stuck back there. You get it?
So neutral. 12, miss.
What's your hit?
17.
Print out the spells.
Oh.
Yes.
Alright, he drops. You bury your sword into his chest. You hear that flame of Dunlogi sizzling in his wound as his last breath gasps.
It's like, not if I blow him out of your hand. These are dice. You can eat them, but they're going to come out rough. Especially at 4.
Bowden, you're awake.
Wait.
Nice.
I'm going to
You pull yourself up out of the mud.
stand up, yeah, and do it all over again. That is a natural 1 that did not hit. That's a 2 that did not hit, so I'm just gonna.
Well, you were disoriented from the fray.
You're almost there the second ago, that's why.
I'm
Bitch.
probably gonna be almost dead in a second again.
Foolery. Oh, no. Still, he's approaching me. I keep asking him, I mean, you really want to go down this
He
road?
just keeps
Likes
roaring
when
at
you
you.
touch him.
Can you please go away, sir?
They obviously aren't that bright.
It's
they're
a
trolls.
27 for the first one. 16 for the second one.
Yeah.
Makes you stand by
15 for the
Hagmar,
third
looking
one.
at that
Hit.
plus mark going, ooh.
Natural 20, so a 31 for that one.
That's a lot of hits.
That's
That's
a
five, what, 5d6 there?
That's the maximum level you can get. Yep. 20 and a 4.
Throw it out. Roadhouse him.
It will
Roadhouse.
Need, it will need a strength save with a dex save after that.
With a chaser.
Yep.
Probably make a strength.
Strength save. Natural 20 on the strength save.
Okay, so these are pushed back 15 feet.
Dex save is a 4.
It falls down.
Splash! Right in the water there.
Ice them.
And surrenders.
$30 points.
What?
Is he dead?
No.
Light them on fire.
Alright, Hagmar.
I'll firebolt them.
You're gonna firebolt which one?
The one that's down.
You're gonna get disadvantage. It's a prone.
Maybe it's anyway.
Huh?
No, that's like that.
Oh yeah, you can't even see him, Josh.
Take the
Because
next
of the
level
mist.
of
You gotta get
exhaustion.
30 feet within 30 feet of him.
You got a hag behind you.
She's breathing in your ear.
She's breathing, huffing in your ear more like.
Lovely markings as she strokes
You
you.
gonna advance 30 feet? That's 10 feet right there. That's 15, 20, 25, 30.
I think it was shatter.
You're gonna cast Shatter?
Yeah.
Shattered bones.
Yeah, I'm shattered.
You're back 5 feet, Josh. Alright, you can throw a Shatter without hitting your allies. Hit 2 of them. Alright, so is that a con save? I think Shatter's a con.
Yeah.
A 1, and that 1,
3d8, right?
and I made the other one.
DC 15.
Yeah.
Oh.
So 16?
Yep.
Alright. Okay. Got it. Now it's the monster's turn. Oh, so this guy's gonna get up, pull himself out of the water, and he's going after Mitch Bean, of course. He's just beyond pissed at you. First, he's gonna try to bite you. Natural 20, and then he's gonna go for the claws.
I'm in full health.
Claw is a 19, and a claw, another natural 20.
See where troll is getting it. So that's another.
This one, that's the crit claw.
D6s.
That's the regular claw. And here's the
Eight
crit
D6.
bite. This will be plus 12. Mitch
I
Bean.
have more pluses than that.
No, it was sixes.
That's, well, if I add it up, yeah, it's a terrible
When
roll.
you add up 3 dice, it's also it's sixes.
So let's see, we got 10. 34 points of damage.
Okay,
You got a few.
I'm still up. Plus,
So
I
he
absorbed
just
his
is so-
regen, so
He just is so enraged at you.
Quit knocking me down.
He just explodes with claws and bites and fangs and
quit bursting my spleen every 6 seconds. Regenerates. Bang.
so he sees this blade engorged in fire coming at him, and of course he's gonna go after Gordaz. Bite. 19.
Yes.
Claw. 19.
Yes.
Claw. 19. 3
Yes.
12s in a row. So plus 12.
Split them though. You have one at a time.
32 points of damage. So you take 16.
Or you should do them one at a time.
It'll work out the same.
No.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
So 10,
Okay, that's 5,
12,
6.
10. If there were different damage types, then
Yeah.
it would work out. So he's basically sees this fire coming in, and he starts getting a little panicky. Snog.
Can I get to one
It
of
would
the
have
X?
been 1 less damage if you got 2 outnumbered.
Yes, I got you. I'll start giving to me one at a time. Yeah, you get there.
Alrighty. Let's jump in.
We always seen 1 HP can make a difference.
15.
Going down or staying up.
15 hit.
Yep. This it can make a difference.
Does an extra die go to damage too?
No.
No,
12.
12.
I don't know how to use my last war priest.
I'm going this way.
We're here to find flowers.
23 hits.
Couldn't hide both of these. I need to bring back some
7.
7. Okay. After Snog, it's Antis.
Alright. Move up into the space behind everybody. And then I'll do
Meat shields.
I'll do a 3rd level cure wounds on Mitch.
Mitch.
14, 18, 20, 23.
Okay.
23 points of healing. Meg, she advances up behind Hagmar, cackling.
She's still stroking his birthmark there.
Yes. I always envisioned Hagmar as having a rat tail. Josh, we made a decision. We decided that Hagmar has a rat tail.
I'll fireball off.
You're gonna throw a fireball at yourself and burn all your hair off?
Yeah, it's better than a rat tail.
Okay.
It's a magical one. Everything is going to be burned but down.
So Meg moves up behind you, and she sees the mark on the back of your neck.
I died.
She says, "Oh, you are a servant of them." Malhavoc, you hear this
Aha.
clearly.
The truth comes out.
Huh?
She looks like she's going to attack.
No,
me.
she seems amused.
Okay. Can I see that troll or do I need to move forward?
Let's see. 10. You gotta move forward.
Right.
So advance him like 4 squares.
So the one closest to me here.
Okay.
Let's see, Mickey's beating the shit out of him, so let's take it from there. Natural 20.
Ah, damn it.
Make that fire damage.
Four damage.
24. Okay.
Still up.
Yeah, he's still up.
Natural 20.
Oh.
God damn it.
Not open for long.
So, 18.
18. Hold on 1 second. Oh, splash. Yes, arrows funk into his throat, spraying troll blood all over the party members in the front there.
You're welcome.
And we have Gordaz.
Gordon's know what he needs to do.
That'd be a nature check. Oh yes, he knows that trolls, unless they're hit with fire or suffocated to death.
Stab him. 21 to hit.
Alright, so you run him through the fire damage, piercing its flesh and ending the troll's life.
See ya.
The last attack, 43.
Party full of wizards with firebolts.
19.
Basically, just to pick them off.
Beat the crap out. 13 damage.
The troll shrieks,
as he sees this blade gorged in fire plunge deeply into its belly. Its eyes roll back in its head, and it breathes its last breath. Dead. Meg just begins to clap. And she calls you over. She's like, come to my home. And she wobbles over to the hut. You can see Vidoma standing in the doorway, looking up.
Out of the troll.
Okay. But you can see Vidoma. She's just kind of staring up at the sky, the mists in the sky, and she's got a large grin on her face.
Can we search these trolls?
They don't carry any loot.
They're full of flesh.
They got ratty loincloths.
Could use that to gag Hagmar next time.
You want a troll loincloth to gag Hagmar next time?
I would use a fireball. Just to
He just sent her a fireball on himself.
do we realize that all the trolls had rat tails?
Don't make me laugh. Ow. Oh.
That was Thunder Wave. You can run out of Thunder Wave.
Okay. Meg calls you over and asks you to come into her hut. Alright. You guys go in?
Yes.
Do we all fit?
Yeah, you'll fit in there. It's gonna be crowded, but you can fit in there. Okay. Inside the hut, there is a large central fire pit that is blocked off by large stones. Over the fire pit, a massive black cauldron bubbles and pops in a thick, chunky liquid. A pair of makeshift cots covered in stained, threadbare blankets and patchwork pillows lie near one another in the back. Between the cots, a large wooden chest sits slightly ajar. All around, the walls are covered with fetishes and charms. Everyone can make an Arcana check.
So I know we're all going in the hut. And there's probably nothing but roleplay that you might want to heal so you don't die if you go in there.
11.
Did you do disadvantage?
Yeah.
16? 21.
Who's beat up the worst?
I had a 13.
Alright, so who had the 16?
Lay on hands.
You recognize all of these fetishes and charms as they're used for protection against scrying and curses.
Hey, Mar, you sleep here for now.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, you might get a good night's sleep. You might get a good night's training. This is like NyQuil.
Vidoma waddles over to a rocking chair, sits down with some effort in the chair, and just begins creaking back and forth in her chair. She's facing the back of the hut, which is just, there's nothing back there but her cots, and she just sits there quietly rocking. Old Meg says, the hags, they've been trying to steal my sister for a long time. I came to this swamp to join the Gray Coven, but they wouldn't have me. They only wanted my sister.
Why do they want your sister?
Wasn't it obvious? She's a Twilight hag. Anyone can make a Arcana check for that.
16 again.
Ooh. 21.
21 at disadvantage. Hagmar speaks up. Twilight hags, they're rare fey creatures. They wield a power that all hags covet. Sometimes they're called oracle hags. They live with constant visions of the future and often lose touch with what is real and what is prophecy. However, if they focus, when they focus, they can see the future.
So you knew we were coming.
Of course we knew you were coming.
What
We
about
also
trolls?
we also knew the trolls were coming. They've been been trying to steal my sister for some time.
Insight.
Them as well.
I want to know if she actually knew we were coming.
Huh?
Insight. I want to know if she actually knew we were coming.
Okay.
15.
You think she actually knew you were coming?
So the trolls work for the other hags? The Gray Coven?
Absolutely. Yes. The Gray Coven. This is their swamp, you know.
You know where they're at.
I know where the Tree of Decay is. I ventured there myself.
Would you show us on our map?
You want to know? Why would you go to that place?
We don't want to go there. We just want to know where not.
Oh, don't lie to me.
We wanna
My
take-
sister has
take
told
all
me
the
all about what your intentions are. But you must know that there is more than just the hags to worry about on your way there.
Is it him?
What about me?
We've heard some stories about dragons and giants. Is that what you're talking about?
The great dragon Volturnus, the bronze dragon who was cursed by the hags when Shorir raised the Tree of Decay. He guards its entrance. The poor beast, once the guardian of this place, the swamp, is now but a slave to the hags.
What about the black one?
Yes, yes. That black dragon was brought here a few years ago.
Brought by who?
Well, the hags, they feared that with the pirates becoming more and more successful, they would look eastward. They had always seen the pirates as a buffer between them and the outside world. And they wanted to keep it that way. So they brought the dragon here to prevent anyone from venturing too deeply into the swamp. You will have to slay the dragon if you will want to attack the hags. She kind of gives a chuckle. And you hear Vidoma Vidoma kind of interrupts her and she says, "The blind that see all." And Meg kind of rolls her eyes. There is more. Surrounding the Tree of Decay is what I call swamp wardens. Poor undead souls that have been crucified to trees and thickets. And they begin to shriek loudly when any of you guys, any creature happens too close to the Tree of Decay that's not supposed to be there. If just one begins to shriek, they all begin to, in a chain reaction, begin to shriek, and will alert the coven of your approach. But there's not all. Stealth is necessary. For if you do not find a way of approaching the tree undetected, a greater threat will be brought down upon you. You all know of the giants of the Golvag Highlands. The hags have been invading their shaman's dreams for quite some time and have become quite skilled at manipulating them. If you're not careful, you could be met by a dozen stone giants, or maybe even more, on your way to the tree.
Do the hags' biddings?
They are usually fooled into it.
Do you have anything you can do about our friend here? And his mark?
She grabs him by the back of the neck and she says, yes. She licks her finger and wipes her finger down the back of his neck. It kind of gives you the shivers as you feel the long, pointed claw of her finger drag down your neck. She says, only the destruction of the tree will free your friend.
like you're stuck like that.
Do you have anything for the ailments of this swamp?
She says, only the destruction of the tree. Vidoma gasps and clutches her walking stick, standing. Acid burns and wolves howl. Make an ally of the scourged and cursed. And old Meg says, yes, I told them of Shothirith. Shothirith is the name of the black dragon. But you won't make an ally of her. However, there is one, a cursed individual. You will need his aid, for he is the only one who knows where Shothirith makes her lair.
And who is this? Who's this cursed?
Vedoma wanders over to Gordaz and stares intently at him. And she says, spite and anger, pain and rage, these are the things that little girls are made of. She wanders away from Gordaz.
I need more beer.
It's,
Well, I guess
So what's
she's
that
not
supposed
always
to
right, then.
who's this cursed we're looking for then? What little girl?
I guess she's throwing some nonsense up once in a while.
She looks at Josh, at Hagmar, and she puts a cold, dry hand on your neck and closes her eyes. The eyes of hate are upon you. No rest for the slave. Vedoma moves to her rocking chair, gingerly sitting down. She says, ask. Meg looks at you and she says, this is a real kindness. My sister is going to allow you 3 questions. 3 questions.
3 questions? Really? Here's 2 questions, huh?
Yes.
So
3 questions of her.
a piece?
No. 3 questions only. Be warned once they are asked. The answers are not always so clear.
You should ask what became of Ness.
We need to find out who this cursed is. That can help us.
Yeah.
And how they can help us.
Who's looking for
So do you think the cursed question first?
Yeah, because in case we have another question related to that, because if we keep it for last one, like, that short.
So who's the curse that we're looking for?
Yeah, 2 questions. Do you want to ask their name specifically?
I don't know if it's a name
or
or
where?
I think where is better, because the name could...
it's a young female, but
So I'm going to have Meg mark your map.
we've got a
The
whole
location of the tree of decay.
village of young females. Right.
Yeah, but if we ask for her name, it's Little Speak, we won't get Little Speak, 'cause that,
Yeah. That's what it says.
Or is it like,
oh,
Location.
Location and description.
Well, Meg will tell you. She shows you where the tree of decay is. She does warn you. There are many guardians within. Many trials to face. Be prepared. Yep.
so it's about twice as far from our
Yeah, we ain't quite ready to take on that.
No, I'm just getting, laying
It'll be all done.
Tomorrow. 12:44 p.m.
So what do you want to ask? What are some important things to know?
Should we? So do we want to ask who is the person she spoke of?
Yeah, but how are we going to form that question?
Where?
Where to find them?
Or how will we know them? Yeah.
Is it just a straight up question? Or do we ask like
Straight up
multiple
question, but the
what's the
answer
name
is gonna
and
be-
description of the...
Yeah, there you have two
Please
questions
fill out this
left.
form regarding
Yeah,
the identity.
What's name and description would be good enough. What is the name and description of that first person that will help us?
So you're going to ask him who's the cursed, essentially?
Or who is this cursed person and how can they help us?
Is that the question?
Would that be considered two questions?
Yeah.
Let's just find out who it is.
He is the wanderer. He is the tortured. The lover. And the rage.
Sounds like Rupert.
Alas.
Lash.
There's another one to consider. Wonder if we can get, you know, how many agents the hags have in town. So they've got agents in town.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not gonna help us to know really how many. Because
They've got 3 at least that I suspect.
Well, you could ask who are the Coven agents.
Yeah.
That's one question.
See if any of them are powerful, higher level.
You'd just be like,
What are their levels?
I mean, like hierarchy of the
you have a copy of
community.
the tablet.
And then there's Hagmar.
we got Hagmar, and the Hagmar's right.
I mean, even if we know their names, it's not like we can just walk up to them. Like, you're a crazy old lady and they're down there, said that you're a bad person.
Yeah, but one of them is Lash's girlfriend.
Or if we could
That would
do,
give
like,
us
kids or something, then
an excuse to kill her.
yeah, I think
It's
we
something we
still
can
have to
find
prove it.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
Probably should figure
No,
out
we just
that.
make
It's
her
not
disappear.
necessarily proving anything, but we know who to keep an eye on.
We know that
Is that your question?
they're keeping an eye on
So
Lash.
we should figure out what happened to Edna.
Yeah. There you go. There's another one.
Does that help you on your quest to destroy the...
Probably not.
Maybe.
How about a way to kill this dragon? Does it have a weakness?
Weapons.
dragon? That'd be a knowledge arcana check.
I can check
Weapons.
that.
You gonna do it right now at disadvantage, Josh, or wait till you're feeling better?
He prefers to
Can't
do
do
it
it.
disadvantage. That'd be really hold the word.
Anybody can roll.
Say that I can't be here and I walk out of the room. That's all I said.
Alright, so... You walk outside. Okay. What are you doing?
Just hanging out outside, because if I stay in there and they're just debating about what to ask, I feel like I'm going to ask the wrong question. I don't want to ask the wrong question. Because
Okay.
it's going to be self-serving.
Okay.
well, related to
No, it's gonna be like, "Lady, what's the truth?"
the Etna's question, we could ask what Hetty's dealings are with Jimmy Greedy.
Answer is tough. You guys keep doing it.
That's a good
They're
question.
probably all involved in Edna's disappearance.
Sure.
What's that?
Let's see, what are Hetty's dealings with Jibin and Greedy?
Okay.
stink of death rises from the cellar. Painted and menacing, he seeks to release the beast. Let me know if you need me to repeat that.
So you are Gregory lives under.
Was the dragon bound?
Stink of death rises from the cellar. Painted and menacing, he seeks to release the beast.
So
That's clearly Gregory.
dragon bound?
Yeah.
Watching Split when you look.
Huh?
You're watching Split when you look.
What's Split?
James McAvoy movie. You seen it?
No.
It's
Isn't that
M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, yeah,
Latest movie.
where
No.
he kidnaps that girl and then he has like 6 different personalities or
No.
Oh, my ex-wife.
Alright. So what's your third and final question?
Figure out why the business or what is that beast? Well,
Yeah, I didn't see the last one. I didn't see the ending when it comes. It's tied in.
I heard about it before I saw it.
Yeah.
And then I saw it. I was like,
yeah, I guess, yeah. Or we could ask about the way to earn Ash Ragnar's trust.
And then we just ask Essie for gifts.
Sure.
Can we ask how to?
Where's the body of Edna's fusty one?
Or
I don't know how much that.
But if she's not dead, she's still
But I don't know how much that will really help us. We know where the.
well, I mean, this thing of dead rises. I bet she's down there and he ate part of her or something.
Either in Gregory's basement or under the fussy ones.
They're in the cellar. You might want to see what beast. That's gonna be if it's several people, that's gonna be a very convoluted answer. What my kind point is. I would go for the beast. The way they meet. We go on. So you guys are finally asking about that what beast?
I'm good with it.
What beast does Gregory wish to release? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
She says, the moon calls and the flesh rips. Savage axe. Have an axe is ACTS. Savage axe have rended the land.
Gregory's a werewolf. Alright. We're gonna all sit her with us from now.
Something for us, I think would be
I'm gonna go see Wish. There's your copper. Give her a silver back.
Vadoma pushes herself back up and hobbles over to her cot, leaning heavily down. She pushes the lid open to her chest and begins to sift through what's inside.
yeah.
Pulling out a wooden case, she limps over to Bowden. She says, "You must turn the tide," and hands you this case.
Old Meg looks visibly agitated as she watches Vendoma hobble back to the chest and begin to search for more. Vendoma emerges with a ring and comes over to Hagmar, handing you the ring. She says, "You must stay strong." She hands you the ring.
And tell her what does the ring look like?
It's a simple golden ring.
How long does the ritual cast of identify?
It's 10 minutes, Josh.
Okay.
What weapon are you using?
I got a battle axe.
Is it magical?
No.
What weapon are you using?
It's Warhammer.
Is it magical? You got magical. You have a magical weapon?
Yeah, I got plus one of these.
Your fists are magical. You got a magical weapon.
I don't think they're magical, yes.
They will be, though.
Yeah.
I think we've earned enough to make it.
Alright.
Fine favors on it. Fine smites, that would
Yeah.
They give you a chest.
The last thing she pulls out, wrapped in a leather cloth, it's a long item. She hobbles over to Snog and hands it to him. She kind of blankly looks past you. She mutters, "You must stab the heart of decay. Stab the heart of decay. Putrid, foul, fetid. Awaken the mud. Free the Shellicod. The guardian of leaf and twig must rise."
Remove the wrapping and see what she hands me.
It's a battle axe, fine make, gleams even in the dim light of the hut. It's a, well, I'll let you guys see.
all over the chest.
So did I need to repeat any of that?
Stab the thing with the thing through the shirt like that.
Stab the heart of the whatever.
She wasn't necessarily meaning with that, just in the general.
I
Putrid,
say thank you. Thank
foul,
you very much.
fetid, stab the heart of decay. Awaken the mud and free the Shellicod. The guardian of leaf and twig must rise. Inside of the case, it's just racks of potions. There are 1, 5, 6, 10 potions, and what looks like a small, very small mason's jar.
Thank you both very much.
Old begs. She says, "Quickly, you must leave before you bankrupt me."
Sounds like
Keep in mind that we saved you from the foul trolls.
It was foretold, and you've been richly rewarded.
If we come back tomorrow, do we get 3 more questions?
Only if my sister feels it.
Can you see if she's gonna feel it?
You're still outside.
What time of day is it?
It's late afternoon.
Can we stay here for the evening?
No, I can't afford that.
Afford it?
My sister doesn't seem to want to stop giving you gifts.
We're not here for her gifts, but we
Maybe she
appreciate
knows
it.
it's for the best.
It's not for my interest.
What would be in your
As if
interest?
it helps us cleanse this place.
I think it's best if you go now.
Hey Josh, can you give me another drink, please? Just Mountain Dew or something.
We'll show you that bag before dark.
Is there a way to protect our friend here from the scrying? Let him get a good night's sleep?
Only the destruction of the tree will save your friend.
Even to get him one good night's sleep?
Yes. He is a slave to their whims. Only those of strong will could fight off such an onslaught.
Get a potion that'll knock him out.
It won't matter. He will still dream. Though if he's unconscious, he may not do you any harm.
Get a fist that can knock him out too.
Thanks. You want 7-Up, dude?
No. Thanks.
Well, it's not harm to us what we're worried about. It's more for his own sake.
Alright, so do we press on back to
Yeah, before dark sets in.
before it gets too dark?
No.
There's still a werewolf floating around out here.
Probably.
Much worse than werewolves out there, I assure you. When I came to the tree of decay, there were flocks of harpies that soared around its branches.
Dragons, harpies, werewolves, ghouls.
There's plenty for everybody.
Screaming, sentries, screaming.
We just killed, what, four trolls?
I just killed 4 trolls. You guys need to work harder next time.
That's
Are you guys gonna start
small
heading back
bit in our
then?
army.
You guys want to start heading back then?
What time will we leave?
So did you guys make notes of all the things the Twilight Hag told you, or did you skip any?
You got the stab, the art of DK, and the other stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure with Lindsay.
Think of that, Rise from the Cellar, and the Moon Cows and Fetchers. Greeters of Werewolves.
You weren't really
Is he?
made of hatred and
No, he just wants to release the beast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Beast
Well,
with
did you write that one down?
He's a werewolf, the beast is with him.
Well, I had something about little girl after she was.
You need me to repeat that one?
Yeah, if you could.
Alright.
find it next week on YouTube.
Spite and anger, pain and rage. These are the things that little girls are made of. Can I get a donut?
We're not doing it right.
Why?
That's just talking about hags just made me hungry.
What, 100 next week?
He just Yahtzee and he's not doing it.
Wow.
6 dice like that does.
No, it's the end. It's at the
So I
Yahtzee.
think that little girl maybe
You're not doing
she was
it.
talking about.
Score screaming and flailing your arms about.
Which one?
I was thinking
Could be. Yeah. He doesn't seem very angry.
Anything going on
I
outside?
think Sabina is more
Huh?
happy.
Anything going on outside? I'm
Spike.
No.
making sure nothing's approaching.
He's probably afraid of
What
stuff.
bugs away.
But eventually everyone does file out.
Lead her to do some
And
things.
when I get up to you, I'm going to ask you if the werewolf you saw might have resembled Gregory, because you weren't in there when she's talking about him releasing the beast. Yeah.
He was big and furry.
It's gonna be hard to tell.
The werewolf's actually
Werewolves
plural.
behind the
Flail
fur.
your arms about.
Yeah.
Scream Yahtzee.
Werewolf's gonna look like any other werewolf. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on Sabina. She might be doing things. From being angry at her mom.
Alright. So anyone need to see this, where the tree of decay is?
I see it. Very good.
It's far east. Alright.
So it looks like we probably need Lash's help to attack his army.
Yeah, mining pirates. There's a lot of stuff there.
Alright.
Good idea.
So, where are we now?
We're intending to head back.
Our
Quite cool.
character, where's the end game? Is it going for the coven? Destroying the tree?
Both.
One has to happen before the other.
I think if we destroy the tree, we destroy the coven.
But would the coven
But
be
we'll
in
have
the
to
tree?
go through the coven to get to the
Yeah.
tree.
The tree is the thing responsible for the whole thing, based on the first adventure. So,
Yes. So
like I said, the coven is gonna be in the way to get
They're
to
gonna be protected.
Huh?
What's the item that you had? Like,
A battle axe.
problem.
you want to use your
yeah,
hop in the canoe and use your rituals to identify those items, Josh.
Figuratively.
Well, I
You don't
identified
need
my
the
item
actual
first.
axe to stab it.
Josh,
but from like
you were given a ring of charm resistance.
Leave.
You have advantage on saves versus charm person and dominate person spells.
It doesn't look good because
Who knows how that mark works, though?
I'll take care of the dominant person. Part of
That's the bigger one to worry about.
Alright, that's a back to Gray Coven.
The battle axe you were handed
that.
is
Yes.
a +1 battle axe.
Is dwarven.
And then the case is filled with 5 potions of greater healing, a potion of superior healing. Let me know when you're ready here, John. A potion of fire breath. A potion of heroism. A potion of speed. And a potion of vitality. And then the little mason jar is a unused portion of Kyogben's ointment.
What does that do?
It can heal diseases, it can do all kinds of stuff.
how many pieces are in the game? One.
No. I'll tell you here in a second. It's a very small one.
They use all of it, but what's stuck to the sides. Like, here you can have this, we're done with it.
There are 5 doses. One dose of ointment applied to a wound or swallowed. You regain 2d8 plus 2 hit points, and you cease to be poisoned or diseased of any kind.
That would be helpful with the screen.
So all in one hit, it removes poisoned, disease, and then heals 2d8 plus 2. And it has 5 uses.
We'll go through playing poison the fortune during and healing.
Nah, I'm done with healing. Since you couldn't come up with a.
All right. And then I think that's everything, right? So you guys are going to head back now. So, Josh, first, who's leading the way?
Me.
All right, roll a d20. Your survival check.
16 plus 8, so 24.
On a survival?
That's how you move it.
How did you get +6?
Plus 8.
Or they have +2 survival.
Oh, what sorry, 18.
Still pretty good. Still pretty good. 18. So you get the boat pointed to the northwest, and you begin moving everyone in the right direction. Now, Josh, you get to roll for encounters.
1 die?
1 die.
That's where you roll.
Ooh.
19.
I knew I could count on you.
Everything on the table.
That thing all of a sudden disappears.
He just digs everything out from underneath the table.
He opens the holders.
We found the army of beholders.
So you guys are paddling away.
He gets out the dredge box.
All 80 of my dretches,
All
or
80 dretches.
they all start summoning.
We're gonna keep
I really
going.
like the new Dretch miniature. They look like, like the dog things from Ghostbusters? They look like those, except they're smaller.
gets out of the box so it's also in
So as you paddle along, 4 werewolves don't make no attempt to hide their presence and just walk along the shore, their red eyes staring you down, growling at you as they move along, sometimes on 4 legs, sometimes on 2.
Do they have healing? Do you have magic healing?
What's magical?
That makes your attacks magical.
Start shooting.
You just want to start shooting a couple arrows in their direction?
I'm
Well, it's either that or we ignore them or we make land and fight them, but that's the wisest
Well,
thing
they're
to do.
obviously not very good swimmers if they would come out after us.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can either fire at them and
You and Agmar can just shoot them down.
I'm getting low on spells.
I can, Sacred Flame.
what you guys? I'm straight up asking if you want me to really attack them.
I think you
Sure.
should not fire at them until they attack.
I mean, how
See
far
what they
away
do.
are they?
Maybe 20 feet to shore.
Throw a volley in that direction, see what happens.
We have a bomb.
You can have a bomb.
You want to use your bomb?
We should use the bomb.
No, not yet. Not until we can making sure we can get more.
Do I fire the ball to hit them?
Or just
Agmar can just
I mean,
toss
you
a few
shoot, I shoot,
firebolts
and
their way.
he can.
You two can do
All right,
I
so
got Sacred Flame.
you guys fire a few arrows, a few volleys at them of fire bolts and sacred flame, and they give a howl and a bark and a growl, and they disappear into the mist.
That's right, you coward.
Come back and get some more.
Some more of our indecision.
I made the decision for you. All right, so you make your way back to Quag Cove. You tie your canoes up at the Fisherman's Wharf.
Doesn't matter now. We call it. Twice.
Yeah.
Twice. Of course, the first time was at a huge discount.
Yeah.
Yeah, 500 copper.
Now
We should just
350.
give them their fishing stuff back. I think it would
Yeah,
some of
I
it
think
can
I'm
be.
probably best. Tell the guy, hey, we found boats. Here's his gear. We're gonna keep the boats. See if they're big.
Let's mark them. Same way we mark the other ones, so they don't turn up again.
Like big
So
old
how do you
net
mark
that
them,
we use.
Byron?
I had the kids do 3 lines with a dot on the dot.
Okay, is that what you want to do to these?
Yeah, we'll do
Okay.
Put 3 lines on a
Now
dot
we
on
won't
the
be able
side.
to tell them apart.
Yeah, just 3 lines on a dot on the side.
3 dots on the line.
Okay, 3 dots in a line. Okay, so you're back in town, and
Entire War and Peace on the side of the dot.
yes, and it's evening. The sun is setting. Insects are biting. It's warm. The fog is rolling in even thicker. And Sabina meets you at the docks. And as you guys disembark from your canoes, Sabina asks, "Have you seen Oriana today?"
that. I wouldn't
We haven't been able to find her at all. I'm starting to get worried.
That's the one you do.
The little dog is left underneath the docks with the key still in it.
What did you ask?
All right. So she takes you to the same area where you first found Timbo and Sabina.
Investigation. Start doing
Okay. Okay, make an investigation.
No.
Make an investigation check.
19.
The only thing you really find is, the undersides of these docks are very makeshift. The wood is good. It's all cypress wood procured from the Wetfoot's Carpentry by Timbo. But the craftsmanship obviously was done by kids. So you have a lot of cases where you'll have the main dock on top. And then, of course, there's all the supports for those docks coming down. And then you might have some cross beams and then some narrow, tight gangplanks where the kids are running across, right, underneath, giving about 2-3 feet of clearance above. And you notice some of these cross beams in that area are broken.
Do I know if I should know? Well, so I guess if I do, will locate animals or plants? Does that work on her?
No.
Would she have an object on her that I could locate an object on?
Well, she always carried a whole bunch of those colors, those pigments.
Are there any of those?
But you're down there by yourself.
It's a water
right?
color.
Is there any signs in those colors, like maybe marking them?
Well, she's always coloring all over the place.
I mean, if she was taking
It's gonna be fuzzy if you use that on the pigments, because the
Can I roll
entire
for
thing is
investigation
gonna
to see
light
if
up.
there's any trace behind from her?
Huh?
Can I roll for investigation? See if
He already did. There's the only thing he really noticed was that these beams that would normally enclose the area are broken.
Can I see if I roll higher?
He rolled a 19.
I can roll 20.
Oh, we'll roll. You're disadvantaged.
So 9.
Do I get roll investigation on the cross beams that are broken? Check them out.
You can check them out.
I could roll 220 instead.
Well, I mean, you look at them. It's definitely the damage is fresh.
Is it one spot made by a weapon, made by just one force?
You don't see any edge weapon marks or anything. They just look like they've been broken.
What's below the broken?
They look like they were broken in.
What's below?
Huh?
So below the planks are just water?
Yes. It's like swamp underneath like this.
Would I be familiar with her enough to locate object on her shirt or shoes?
Make a wisdom check.
Straight wisdom?
Yeah.
It's 20.
Yeah, you could envision the clothing she was wearing. It was in high fashion. Potato sack of gear.
Latest trend. So, the boards look like something burst
Into
the
there.
underside.
Yeah.
So
I think you try to cast locate object, see if I can find it.
I
Okay.
think it's just cross beams like that too. Kind of crab defense or whatever.
All right.
Where does they live under?
See,
Cerotias or
spell.
something? Maybe one of these beasts. Ghouls and gas and whatnot.
If they're underwater, I
Pretty
can just
bite-sized.
cast Find Familiar and get squid.
We could just throw the cat into the water.
those bifocals on
Yeah, I think they would. Yeah,
Like
could
in
be.
like a boat or something.
Could be. Or
I could get a frog for him.
No, what's the
cute.
fish?
Alright.
These things have kind of tentacles or something.
There might be some tentacles in the water.
Catfish. It's from there, you're a catfish.
We need to look underwater. I could just summon a squid.
Summon a squid, Josh.
Yeah, find familiar, summon a squid.
when the starfish shows up. There's nothing.
This Patrick?
Hey, the starfish can regenerate. Very slowly.
In hot oil.
You see any blood around the boards?
You don't see any blood around the board right there, but you sense the object you're seeking for south.
So I'll let everybody know. think she's to the south of us.
If I summon a squid dad, can it go in the water and look?
Where are we at?
Look.
They can't communicate with you.
Way around the
can't?
Widfoot.
Why?
Because they're just a squid.
But isn't it my
It's not like you're familiar. You dismiss your familiar. And then I think you have to wait like an hour or something to get another one.
Can you tell how far south?
You can't really tell how far south. You'll know when you're within 30 feet of it, is what the spell says.
Should we grab a canoe?
So we're up
We're,
here, right?
we're like somewhere around there. Right?
You are in this area.
So let's start heading south.
Walking.
I would walk this way
Yeah.
and see if your feeling changes. You know, if it's southeast.
Go that way and then go, like, we're headed toward the brand, because that's about as far south as you can get, so we'll just move
Well,
that
it's
way.
more like if you go here, you still feel her south. That's
South.
going to be way out there. If you go here and you feel her southwest, you can kind of figure out she's going somewhere.
Just so,
Alright,
if you walk towards the trestle bridge there, it still feels due south.
So feel due south. So then we just start walking south. See if she's in quite close at all.
So Natalia waves at you as you guys go past Fusty Lugs late at night by this point.
So early morning for them.
Okay.
They started.
Okay.
I'm looking for the nearest road.
Nearest werewolf? Werewolves are not animals, though.
Beast.
They're not a beast.
They're a monster.
They're a monstrosity. So you begin moving south, and as you come past Fusty Lugs, you still feel south. You walk past the barracks. Some of the Lasher gang eye you as you go on. You reach the warehouse there, and you still feel south. You still feel compelled to go south. And you reach the brand. You go down the stairs to the brand, and you get to just to the east of the pit there, and you feel like you need to drop down. It's like underneath you.
I think she's the lowest we can get there. I don't know, is anybody coming with me, or am I
Yeah, I'll
just...
come.
Yeah, we're all
Yeah,
following.
we're all with you there.
I'll jump in.
And everyone make a perception test.
Natural 20.
You're pretty good at hiding if nobody found her there.
25.
16.
18.
I see nothing.
16?
Alright, so you guys climb down underneath the docks. Oops, I guess the hag's gone.
Nothing we can do with us.
You guys climb down underneath the docks. And several of you guys notice right away several Odiugs all moving towards something floating in the water.
Those are cute.
Clearly the things that took her.
And you guys can definitely see something floating in the water.
Hey, swimming ring. Do something.
Ah, I gotta die over there.
I guess I'll swim out to the water.
Hey, Josh,
That was not me. That was Byron.
you threw your thing into my cup. So you can see something floating in the water right there.
I will swim out to it.
So is this Josh?
We'll do is we'll roll initiative.
Just on the right side.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we can get the wall.
What an initiative. I'm sitting next to Josh. 17.
All right. Bowden,
17.
Cordaz,
7.
Antis,
2.
Hagmar,
7.
Mitch,
12.
Malhavoc,
15.
Snog.
4.
Gosh, this is awesome.
Did you get my initiative up?
Mine's 2.
61.
So first up is Bowden. You see these things all kind of racing to this object in the water.
I am going to lay on hands for 25 points and make the waters 2 movements.
Yes.
these things like have an incredible swimsuit, like a shark kind of thing?
No.
I'm working
They're
my
kind
way.
of struggling in the water.
I'm working my way out to the.
Okay.
What do you think?
Malhavoc.
I shoot one.
Okay.
Shoot that.
Anyone look closer? Yeah, I guess that one is closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll shoot that one.
All right.
First one is 26.
Hit.
Second one is 21. That hit.
Yeah.
First one is pretty shitty. 8 damage.
Okay.
11 damage. Second shot.
Okay. Up next, we have the monsters. All right. So let's see what we got here. So the Udyogs, they had been racing to whatever's floating in the water there. But as soon as Bowden steps in the water and starts making his way out, this one turns its attention and moves towards Bowden. Let's see. And it makes 3 attacks. First with its bite. A natural 1. It's huge.
It bites its own limb off.
Tentacle attack. A 9. Tentacle. A 9. So it kind of flounders through the water at Bowden. It has no swimsuit, just like any of you guys. But when it gets over there, it snaps and snarls and thrashes about at you, but ultimately misses Bowden. All right, that one. This one still heads for the prize that's floating in the water. Its tentacles wrap around whatever it is and lift it out of the water, and you see the lifeless body of a small girl. This one, its tentacles wrap around her too, and they begin to kind of tug at one another, trying to pull the girl away from each other. Mitch.
The one closest to me. I'll take 2 shots at it.
Oh, you're gonna shoot at it?
So 24.
Hit.
That's 8 points. Second shot, we'll probably miss it on 9.
Okay. Hagmar and Gordaz, you guys tied. What are your dexes?
Both 2.
That roll off. I guess it doesn't matter. Which one do you guys want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Hagmar, you go second.
Rage.
Okay.
You want to roll for me? Swing. 15.
Hit.
Now you split my damage.
Nah, just add it all up.
Come.
Okay.
And do it. Inverse the water. 18.
Okay. The creature recoils at the massive amount of damage it takes, releasing its grip on the body of the girl, leaving the lone Odyug there free to pull it in. It's not its turn, so it doesn't quite do it yet, but Hagmar, what do you do? Is it time for your other fireball?
Or could I do a 3rd level shatter?
Well, he can wrap his fireballs around anything he wants, because he's an evoker. Because you could hit all 3 with your fireball if you want.
Like, with a 3rd level shatter, what would be a 3rd level shatter be? Would that be 4d8?
Yeah.
But
It's a smaller area, so you're just gonna get.
Yeah, you're not going to get all three with it, though.
I think I'll do the third fireball. Or the second fireball.
He's going to do a fireball. Alright. So saving throws.
DC 15.
Fail. Fail. Okay.
6, 7. I can borrow one. This is a normal one. I don't like that one.
Why? It rolled a
Oh.
6 last
I
time.
don't trust it.
You don't trust the 6s it rolls?
Yeah. They're not legitimate.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Wow. Nice.
16, 18. That's 22, 27, 31, 36.
Solid fireball.
Wow. The creatures all shriek and howl at the flames that erupt around them. The body flops back into the water after Hagmar very skillfully wraps his spell around it to ensure it's not damaged. Snog.
How can I get to the body in the water?
Well, it's right here. So
You could dash. You know.
that's that's as far as you can get on a single move. Because it's the water. It's doubling your movement. You could dash to here.
I'll dash.
Oh, so he's just like wading through the water with his new axe, his battle axe in hand.
If you grease there, he goes slip and slide.
That's all I can do.
Antis?
I'll move 15 feet, or I get, 30 feet, but half.
Yeah, right there.
And then I'll do guiding bolt on this one. Yeah. 10.
10 misses. Unless Snog wants to intervene. Or do you not have any more uses of your...
I can only do it once. I don't
Isn't
care.
that just for yourself?
There's another one. But for allies. But I think it's quite the same.
Antis.
Well,
Okay.
hold on.
I've never played a lot of these.
Yeah, at first he can only do it for himself, and then at a certain level he can give it to others.
I've got aid. I haven't cast.
So Antis casts his spell and misses. And it's Bowden's turn.
My turn again?
Yes.
Looks like they're moving toward her. And I couldn't make it to him anyway, so I'm gonna take both attacks against the one right there.
Okay.
17 and 19.
You hit. Dope.
8 and
11. Okay. So Bowden, hampered by the water, swings and grazes but damages the Odium twice. Malhavoc.
Shoot the one on your left.
This one? Okay.
His feature's gonna be next level.
Oh.
25.
Oh, I think that hits.
10 damage.
10. All right.
Give it.
The arrow sails in, hits a vital mark, and the creature slumps into the water, unmoving.
Same attack on the other one.
Okay.
20.
Hit.
Okay.
14. Okay. Monsters. Attacking Bowden. See if I do another great attack. The creature rears up and tries to bite you first. 18?
Nope.
Now it's going to just try to... Well, tentacles. I got 2 tentacles, actually. First attack, gosh, 2. Second attack, there it is, 24. Okay, so it smacks you with its tentacle. Let's see. 15 points of damage. And you are now wrapped up in its tentacle. It's got you. The next one...
Is it slimy?
Huh? Is it slimy? It's stinky. I imagine they're kind of slimy, stinky creatures. He's gonna come at Snog. Well, actually, let me see. I'm gonna roll for that. Yeah, he's gonna come at Snog.
Does he still have the girl in his...
No, after he dropped her after all the hail of damage it took. Snog, first attack, a bite. That is a 24.
Ouch.
Make a Constitution saving throw against disease.
16.
You are okay. But you take 13 points of piercing damage. Next attack.
Am I
Tentacle.
still blessed?
No. 19 hit you?
No. Not now.
Okay. After the monsters, it's Mitch.
Oh, the far one.
Which one's the far one?
That one.
This one?
Yep.
Okay.
So 20
Hit?
something. Oh. And same thing. Roll 2 dice as well. So 8 plus 9, 17.
Okay.
Now we'll move around on my end.
Like here? Or further. You can go another 10.
Actually back and behind the door.
Here?
No, closer to the door.
Here?
Yep.
Hagmar. What do you got?
Shatter.
You're gonna shatter those two?
Yes.
Con saves?
Yeah.
For a natural 20. And yeah. Alright.
Ooh. 16.
He takes 8.
And I will move 15. And
Here?
Yeah.
Alright. After Hagmar. Oh, I'm sorry, we skipped Gordaz. My apologies.
Should be 5. So then that would
15.
be. Well, it's double, right?
That's, yeah.
Okay, 15.
Should
And
you
then
check?
that would be 35 if I move back here. The second diagonal.
Uh-huh.
You should probably heal check.
You could have moved to here, though.
You should probably heal check.
Well, I was trying to squeeze so I could be between the two.
I see.
I just
I'm
can't
gonna do
get
spare
there.
the dying.
What's
So
that?
I swing with that
Stabilize.
one.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, well,
18.
that's a little better since.
Oh, you're a barbarian anyway.
Can't really fail on that.
You're moving quick anyway.
Play Yahtzee with
I mean, I still have difficult terrain.
Right.
I just have the plus
Yeah.
7 speed.
advantage to win.
That's maybe 16 damage.
16 to which one? Okay.
That.
Okay.
14.
Hit.
15.
15. He goes down.
A yellow one.
Ah, it collapses as you bury your blade into its gaping maw there. After Gordaz, we got Snog.
Can I get to the body?
You get to the body. You
Touch
lift her.
it. Spare the dying.
Okay. So you cast your spell. You lift her up, but sadly, her life is already passed.
Alright, now I'm pissed.
Antis?
I'll move up would that be 30 feet if it's
10,
20,
20, 25.
30?
Yeah.
Can I cast Revivify on her?
You could try. As long as she's only been dead a minute.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, you cast Revivify, but she's still unmoving.
Okay. As a bonus action, I'll just heal Bowden with healing word. 4, 8, 10, 11.
Okay. Bowden, you're up. You are grappled. You can attack or you can try to escape.
I'm gonna attack.
You just move it next to the toolbox all the way in the back there.
Does an 18 hit?
Yep.
5.
5. Okay. Is that all? You got 2 attacks, don't you?
That's second. I'm gonna do 2.
Gotcha. Malhavoc.
17.
Hit. Okay.
A lot higher.
Hit.
It's 10th, which is good.
Okay.
Well,
Monster. So he squeezes. Make a strength saving throw as he tries to squeeze the life out of you.
5. It's a natural 1.
And you take 11 points of damage, being squeezed. He's going to drag Bowden back 20 to here, try to bite you. Natural 20 on the bite. Make a con save. No, but you're immune to disease, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about it. But you do take crit bite damage. 20 points.
Ooh.
And then his free tentacle is going to try to slap you as well. That's 21.
That'll do it. I'm down.
And you're unconscious. So there's 2 tentacles that have wrapped themselves around Bowden, and the thing just seems to be shoving Bowden down its throat. Mitch.
12 with the first arrow.
Missed.
24 with the second.
Hit.
For 8.
Okay. Gordaz.
Does that thing look pretty good?
Yeah, it's hemorrhaging badly.
And it's last one.
Yeah, Bowden's getting shoved down its throat.
He's getting stuck in there.
The thing's gonna be dead in like 9 or
Chuck 2
spine
javelins
are sticking
at it.
out the end.
Alright.
14 and a 21.
Both hit.
Spits him out.
And 15.
That would be Tasha's.
And it
final
falls
maneuver.
lifeless. Bowden's legs are sticking out of its slack-jawed mouth. Fall out of initiative. Snog, you lift up the body of Ariana. She's clearly dead and has probably been so for at least a day.
More than a minute.
This saddens me.
Sabina runs over and begins to sob uncontrollably, screaming, asking who could have done this.
Can I roll a medicine check and see?
You can roll a medicine check. You probably want to take her up to the docks first. Oh, there's light.
Yeah. Better get him out of. They go with the pulling him out.
Okay.
Medicine or investigation of the body? Just to see.
Medicine.
What do I have to see?
Are you unconscious?
I have +5 medicine.
20? So he rolls a 20. So you guys take her up to the brand, where the area is obviously well lit. Pyramus comes out and he says,
But I'm up.
"You missed our dinner.
my friends. And he sees you guys frantically working on Sabina. But once you get her into the light, the first thing that you notice, and your heart sinks, and your stomach twists, as you see that her eyes have been taken out. With your medicine check, you can see that what ended her life was a blade wound, but there are also scorch marks from flame upon her flesh. Sabina is crying uncontrollably. She looks at you guys and she goes, "You have to find who did this. I want you to find them. I want you to hurt them."
That's not a problem.
Pyramus looks over your shoulders, and you hear him go, There's a large crowd that have gathered for the fights at the pits. Most have now stopped what they're doing and they're staring at you guys. You're all kneeled around the body.
Can I use knowledge arcana to see what kind of ritual that
Well, it does strike you that her eyes are missing.
kind of
As the children in Holmford,
Yeah.
the children of Holmford were taken the same way.
they're going to be more children, isn't it? Same thing's going to happen with children. Was there a red moon last night?
There was no red moon last night.
How many children are under the docks?
Well, there's Little Flea, Sabina, the twins, Patron, Nugget, Oriana, Marhilda, not Marhilda, but Masilda.
That's at least a dozen.
8 that we talked to at least. There might be more. You say Patreon?
Yeah.
I guess Sabina, Fioriana, Mr. Lou, and I guess Patreon, Abby, and Neander.
What are you thinking? Gathering them up.
Can I knowledge arcana to see?
Yeah.
Huh?
Can I knowledge arcana to see what kind of ritual they would perform?
Tell her.
Well,
Yeah.
you mean you know that
We get the room at Odio's and put them in there.
Yeah.
Put in the note outs. We just killed 3.
Well, I know what.
you know that this
The
had happened
bathwater.
before. You know the ritual itself. It prevents the children from moving on. Their spirits linger. Where Oriana's spirit will linger, you don't know. They until this wrong has been righted. If this is indeed the night hag ritual, until the wrong has been righted, they can't rest, essentially.
Did you see this in the flashing last night?
He just saw images of people he cared about being
Wherever your
harmed.
spirit may be, we will resolve this and free you. Tell Sabina to gather her friends. We're getting them out of the area they're in.
Okay.
We're going to put them in a room at Odio's Bathwater.
Okay.
Well, what about should Sabina really talk to? Should we try to persuade Sabina to talk to her mother? Because she'll be a lot safer over there.
It should probably be safer in Odio's because there's paid guards there.
That's
And
true.
us.
That's true.
And
That's true.
All right. I'll let you guys dwell on this.
because there's
Let's do experience. Like I said, it's gonna get darker and it's gonna get more serious going forward here. So let's.
Are the covens night hags or just hags?
The covens were founded by the night hags, though they have accepted anyone of Fey ancestry, particularly hags, who are worthy, who they deem worthy, which you believe are hags.
So the question is because favorite enemy, next time we level up, I get another favorite enemy. Night hags are fiends, other hags are fair.
Right.
So
Night hags seem to be the primary enemy.
They
Yeah.
were specifically interested in, what's her name? Yeah, she's a Twilight hag, so that's
She's a
fake,
fake
right?
creature. Yeah. though she certainly did not seem to have an evil heart.
So what did we say? What did she say about the little girl?
One of them's going to be able to help us. We just don't know which one. And hopefully it wasn't the one that just got killed.
Spite and anger, pain and rage, these are the things that the girl is made of.
Yeah. That's exactly what
So where the heck's fair?
Pink.
Going through the new favorite edition.
What's that?
Favorite enemy.
I want to base it off of her dying, but I don't know what killed her. I'm assuming for Hag. But is it pain or what?
Well, I
Would it be a
statement because they were specifically trying to get you. Huh? Very agree. The hags, I think, are paid more than
It could have been Gregory, but because this happened at home for I don't think Gregory was at home.
Well, it's a different set. We took care of that. This is a complete different group.
If he's one of their agents.
Seems a little suspicious that she's living underneath the
They
brain.
made
Not that I'm accusing it.
With your medicine check, you probably think she died sometime in the night, previous night while you were resting at Odiok's.
He'd be free himself, but that's what all the blood in his hand.
That's why he didn't get the benefits for that. He got murdering instead of rescuing.
Wow, everyone gets 3,050 experience.
That's right at 16,000.
So does that get everyone a level?
Yeah, because 14 would be 6, so we're good.
All right, everyone levels.
Should we have
What's the level mark?
Huh?
14,000 for level 6, now it's going to be 23 for 7.
A few more days like this.
Yeah.
First, Odiugs are worth 1,800 experience, and Trolls are worth 1,800 experience apiece.
Yeah.
So that was a good chunk too.
The trolls,
Which XP should we all be on?
16,000.
Exactly 16,000.
I enjoyed it. I'm missing.
Yeah, because at first I was like, oh, this is not going well with you two
I'm
were,
missing 100 for some
you
reason.
two were shredded right off the
We
spot.
got 100 because we,
This might be the end there.
for I believe we
Everyone got 100
Oh, that's fine.
for.
We were
saving
at 12
that
at 950.
lizard folk, I believe.
Then we got 3,000.
There was a bonus of 100 somewhere, an immediate bonus of 100.
It was saving that lizard folk, I believe,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
and ruins.
Oh, it was convincing. It was breaking the ice with Akira, and convincing her to open up to you guys was an immediate
I've got it right
bonus.
off to the side here, plus one.
There it is. Huh? Won't be here next
Get
week.
your
Okay.
aura.
Get your character sheet on
Saving throws.
Okay.
once I do a level.
Yeah.
It's gonna benefit you guys
Yeah.
a lot.
Can't remember.
Everybody else all around the paladin from now on when we have saves to make.
Who's Akira again?
That was Vrusk's wife.
Yeah.
Life
Make a
mate.
saving throw. The creature being a bonus to saving throw equal to my charisma modifier. Which
So,
is
we all need to sleep in the same bed, so in the morning when we saves against the diseases.
Huddle around. You're all gonna
I
spoon
just
all
got all
day.
the beds
Group hug,
stacked on each other.
Three Stooges style.
Or we just take all the beds out and throw pillows on the floor. And the ones in there and pillow fight.
Tickle fight.
Wolves don't like to be tickled.
All right.
And then keep pulling on.
We continue next Saturday.